Member.
Hello and welcome back to Hellstormwargaming. You are watching us at round 3 of the Goonhammer Open, and no, before you start, I'm not Mikey. I'm Tom. I've replaced Mikey, and this isn't going to get confusing because I'm also with the beautiful Tom Layton. Again, back for round 3. Tom, thank you so much for being here, mate.
Anytime, mate. I'm excited to get into this because we don't have to get confused about our own names.
Yes.
Instead,
we can just say the word Tom and both of us will be like...
We can, but... Oh, yeah, and mate, to be honest, actually, we've had with the informed reporters, when someone's saying Tom on air, I have no idea what's going on, because I don't know if Mikey's referring to you or me or whoever, but it doesn't matter at this point.
It doesn't.
We're not here to talk about us.
Oh, no,
we're
we're
here
not.
to talk about the game that's going on the table. Shall I have a look at it?
Mikey, no, Mikey's already here. He's coming to annoy us. He's messing with the camera. Can you believe it?
I mean, it's at the end of the day, this is his channel, and if he wants to mess with the quality, that's his problem.
Don't make his head
I
bigger.
mean, you could say he's already messing with the quality by putting those on the stream.
Oh, the quality is going to go down. However, we're going to have more fun.
It's way up. He's over there now.
I can see it skyrocketing. However, shall we take a look at the table and see what's cracking?
Let's do it. So I believe we have two very different armies on the table.
Yes.
We have Alex, who is running a Death Guard army.
Oh.
Built around the Terminators and the 1 unit of Poxwalkers for screening.
So they're obviously benefiting again from Armor of Contempt, which has really made them even tougher.
Well, he may be benefiting from that, but he's also smarting from the changes to indirect fire, because he's running 2 Plague Burst crawlers.
Oh, okay.
So we'll have to see how those do.
Yep.
But we don't have too much dense cover on this board, so it might be still a bit okay, but we'll have to see. And that's going up against a very MSU, multiple small unit, Drukhari army.
Yes.
What do you think? Have you got a particular favourite between these?
I do. I'm a Now, I run Death Guard on the channel quite a few times and stuff like that, and I'm liking the look of Blight Lord Terminators. Alex has brought two blocks of Blight Lord Terminators, which is, I think definitely a good way to go. You know what I mean? You've got you can stick them on 2 objectives basically, and they're very hard to shift. So 100%. I really like that. Not sure about the Plague Burst crawlers. I've used them since what I would call the nerf, and I'm not sold on them personally, but who's to say they don't work in this game? There's a lot of Plague Marines in there. We know Plague Marines, again, very tough. Drukhari, I'm not going to lie, you're a Drukhari player, Tom. What's your thoughts on this list?
I have played them, and I feel like, I've said this in the other game, I want to see some Aggie gameplay.
Yes.
Because realistically, what I always try to look at when I'm looking at these games initially is who's most likely to score highest on the secondaries.
Yep.
So initially, we've got the Drukhari going first. So shall we flip over to the Drukhari?
Yeah, let's do that. So we know that Glenn is going first.
Yeah, so Glenn is taking... We're playing Secure Missing Artifacts.
Yes.
Which I know better as priority targets.
Yes.
Because I have a bad memory. So the way this is going to work is if you take your priority objective at the end of your turn, you receive 3 bonus primary points.
Yep.
Or tertiaries, depending on how you want to define it. It's a whole 1-2 mission with 5 objectives, 1 in the center, and then 4 around the side. Now, as you can see, we've formed a big W on the screen, which is what one... Oh, never mind. I forgot that we've closed the program, but that's okay. We've got a big W on the screen, which is what one of these players is going to be taking away at the end of this round. Okay.
Yes, it is. So you'll see that. Yeah, the big old W.
Big old W.
That is a skinny W, because I'm going to make that a little bit thicker in a minute.
It's okay. It's still quite large, so we're fine. So this is a whole 1-2. As you can see, the Drukhari already going first, making my way down towards the bottom side. It's kind of like a... I don't know how to describe the deployment, but it's kind of like a triangle in your deployment zone.
Yes, it is, yeah. So deployments for this are very much like... It's sort of like this. This is Hellstorm Tom's horrific drawing, which will never ever...
back there. I can see your biases towards the Death Guard.
How dare they? Death Guard get a few extra inches because they're very slow. They've got the inexorable advance, okay? So
we need something else to work with.
Yes, exactly.
It's all good. Okay. The way I'm already looking at this, turn 2, you probably get a little bit of an advantage on primary just because you have the ability to hold the objectives later on, but that's dependent upon how much of you is left alive, and also dependent upon the actual final primary score of person going first, because it's very easy to cap out the primary at 45 now because of the presence of these secondaries. So let's say I get every single progressive primary by holding, if I'm a Drukhari player, objective 4 every single turn, because that's my priority target. That's 15 points, so now I only need to get 30 points on the remaining hold the objectives.
So the first thing that jumps out at me that's really interesting is you'll see we've marked the priority targets with the gold coins. Look how close together they are. That is signifying to me that there is going to be a lot of scrapping going on down on the bottom of the board. That is where it's all going to be happening.
And as a Death Guard player, Tom, if you see the 2 priority targets that close together,
you're rubbing your hands. You are rubbing your hands with joy because you're thinking, as a Death Guard player, if it was, let's say it was the other side of the board, you're thinking, I can't compete for these two. I've not got the speed. I've not got the board control.
You don't have as many units.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Whereas here you're thinking, I could, in maybe turn 2 or turn 3, I could hop a unit of Blight Lords onto there. I could. It's feasible. Or a Rhino with some Plague Marines. And before you know it, that becomes really tough to shift. You know what I mean? So initially, I'm thinking that's good for the Death Guard right now.
100%. And when I'm looking at the Drukhari, I'm thinking, well, what kind of advantage do I want to leverage? I want to leverage my ability to get all over the board.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to be looking at things like Herd of Prey, which is the secondary that you've got here, which is reverse engage in all fronts.
Yep.
It's basically keep the Death Guard out of my quarters. I get 2 points for every quarter that you're not in.
Yes.
That works out okay. Although that said, if you're going to end up with this mosh pit and 4, you're only going to get a couple of points in that every turn, because it's going to be 5 lots of 2. Because you've got basically your top right corner. Speaking of top right corner and leveraging your advantage, though, in terms of all your units, Rod has already been achieved in the top right-hand corner.
Right, okay.
So that is retrieve Nachman data.
Yes.
So that is, you've got 4 quarters of the board, and depending upon how many actions you do in each quarter, you get a certain number of points. So if you do an action in 2 quarters, you get 4, 3 quarters, you get 8, 4 quarters, you get 12.
Yeah. So we obviously with R&D, research and development is what we call it on the channel. It is spreadsheets. So they're doing spreadsheets in the top right corner, going right. Let's assess in an Excel document where the Death Guard are going to go, and we will, we'll work it out as we go. And they're going to do that in every corner of the board before they come to a big conclusion, a big formula at the end for a big 12 points.
Yeah, and the Drukhari already you can see spreading out a lot, but here got down towards that primary objective. They've done the shooting phase now, and it looks like we're already in the Death Guard movement phase, so we have to clarify that just to make sure. But I can see a lot of green boys shuffling along the bottom
I'm about to say.
ready to engage that mosh pit in the bottom of that.
We had a mosh pit. We had a mosh pit game 1. I'm hoping for a mosh pit, but a smellier mosh pit. It's the end of the day, okay? We're all smelling a bit, so the Death Guard have come along.
Just want to get it done, and then go for Nottingham's famous kebab shop.
Oh, I was going to say Hooters, because Nottingham does have a Hooters, but we'll go to a kebab shop if you want.
It also does have that.
Yeah.
I believe they've opened a second one in Liverpool, though, haven't they?
Have they?
I have no idea. I haven't been to Liverpool.
Okay, well, maybe we should have a night out at Hooters. Chat, who's joining us?
I will not be having a night out at Hooters.
Oh, Tom, it's such a letdown. No, I'm joking. Just want to say a big up to everyone in chat right now. I want to shout out Martin, who once again has become a member for 4 months. Martin, you're a legend of the channel. What that means as well, guys, is if you want to super chat us, or if you want to become a member, we're giving away a £50 hobby voucher this weekend. Okay, every £2 or every membership will grant you a place in our draw. So, Martin, I'm going to add you to our draw, and at the end of this weekend, you're in with a chance of winning.
£50 voucher to any online wargaming store of your choice.
That's great. So you can do your FLG, your friendly local gaming store. You can do GW, Forge World.
Hellstormwargaming.
If you want to spend it on dice at Hellstormwargaming, step right up, you beautiful people. And also Rockheim as well, coming a tactical marine. You are also part of our little crew who are going in the draw to win yourself that £50 hobby voucher. So thank you so much, and good to see so many people in the chat that I know. Amazing.
Yeah, and to answer your question there, Martin, we have got Kyle in the background. He's
having
a wander around. He just came past. He's bending over a table for me. Very nice.
I'm assuming he's playing Tau. Kyle, he's a Tau player, isn't he?
Yeah,
I believe.
Playing Tau.
Yeah, of course he is. Well, less said about that, the better, right?
Indeed. But just to finish off the secondaries for the Drukhari before we move on to the Death Guard, they've taken Assassination.
Ooh, now what's your thoughts on that, buddy? Where do you think?
Let's have a look and see what targets Drukhari has for Assassination.
Right, well, I know there's a Plaguecaster, so I'm going to shout that out now.
There is a Plaguecaster. Okay. A Plaguecaster. They've got a Lord of Virulence.
Okay, that's a tough boy.
And you've got a Foul Blightspawn.
So has he got Arch Contaminator, I imagine, and he's the...
check for you. He has Unholy Death's head grenade.
Head grenade. Probably horrible. Is it? Oh.
I don't know.
Horrible blight grenades, I'm going to assume. Extra damage on them and stuff.
Yeah. Traps, of course.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
They can fight last. And then it's got the Taliman as well.
So that's 4 characters.
Now, speaking as a Death Guard player. Here,
yes.
How do you like to utilize your characters within a Death Guard army?
Oh, support every time. Support every time.
Stand behind the big wall of Terminators.
Yeah. Or in the middle if they can, and just hide as much as they possibly can.
Okay, so it's not like you're going to be sending them out to do heroic deeds and take objectives and beat people.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so to get to those, the Drukhari need to get behind them, get through the Terminators.
Yep, right? Or somehow get a cheeky angle so they're closer to be able to pop one off with a Dart Lance or something like that.
I think that's a very bold choice, and they're durable characters as well.
Yeah,
so you've got quite a few characters that you can proc that on. but getting to them is going to be the issue. So if a Drukhari can lay down that damage and get to those characters, that's going to be a fine choice. But if they can't, that could end up tanking the entire game, because that could be that's either going to be a 0 or a 12.
Agreed, yeah. It will all depend how the early game goes for how much chaff they can clear. Can they clear a lot of Plague Marines? Can they start clearing Blight Lords? And then that means the support characters have to really think about coming forward. Do 100%. They hide behind a ruin and a wall for pretty much all the game and deny the points? That's fine, but then therefore not supporting going forward, are 100%. They? So.
And speaking about that wall that's being built in front of these characters here as well, we are into the Death Guard shooting Psychic Phase. And the playcasters cast Miasma with Pestilence on the Poxwalkers, making them -1 to hit. But it's even harder to chew through that front wall that's protecting the things, protecting the characters from harm.
They're the easy first turn thing to give away, aren't they? You put them out. I've also put a buff on them to make them more durable for that 7 points. And you just say, look, if you want to shoot with some Poxwalkers, that's fine. But they're there to just hold me an objective, create a bit of a wall, and then we'll see where we go from turn 2. I think that's the best plan. I also want to shout out Andy the Tech Dad, who's just said, Tom, with lots of exclamation marks in chat. Now, Andy, there's a problem here.
I don't know who you mean.
There are two Toms on the desk. Do you mean me, or do you mean
I would
Tom?
assume he means you, because he won't know who I am.
I think he's your biggest fan. I think he's your number 1 fan.
I sincerely hope not.
Why?
Because I just like turning up and watching Warhammer. I don't
That's fine. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us in chat. Let us know how we sound. Let us know how the stream look, and most importantly, let us know who you want to win. Are you secretly a Death Guard fan guy or fan girl? Are you here for the pain and the misery of the Drukhari? Let us know who you're repping for in chat.
The pain and the misery of playing Death Guard as a faction.
Yes, that is also painful and miserable at the same time. We've been through dark days, haven't we, Death Guard fans?
You do your thing, and you do it very well.
Yes, you do.
It works out fine. Shall we move over to the Death Guard and have a look at those secondaries?
Yeah, let's have a look. So,
there.
Alex, what has Alex got?
So Alex has gone for Spread the Sickness.
Ooh, I love that one.
I believe, Tom, is you walk over objectives and you poo on them.
For D3 mortal wounds, it hurts yourself. You do damage to yourself, yes.
Yeah, it's fine. Just before we move into the secondary, we have got the Plague Burst Crawler on the top left-hand side. That's going to be shooting at one of the Ravagers with its top gun. And obviously, that's not indirect.
It isn't.
Because it can see directly through, so it's not taking the penalty that is implemented in the New Balance Data Sleep. So that's what's going on the table there. Now, equally, we have Assassination again.
Yes.
Now, we spoke about this a little bit in the last game, in terms of things like Assassination, sometimes bring it down, no prisoners, things like this.
Yep.
Where it is about you trying to do something, but you also place a lot of the emphasis on you getting those points on your opponent.
Yes, agreed, yep.
Because if I see that you've got Assassination, I'm just going to think, well, I'll just hide my characters as best I can.
Yeah. And, play them a little bit more conservatively.
Yeah, I was playing with G-Stealer Cops. I had 6 characters. Everyone liked taking Assassination.
Yep.
So you just hide it behind 20 Aberrants, and you're fine. So it's one of those where you are reliant upon your opponent a bit. Now, it is a bit of a mind game.
Yep.
So with the Drukhari, you may want to be pushing a little bit more aggressively with your characters.
Yep.
But at least now, if I am playing the Drukhari in this situation, I'm thinking, well, maybe I just hold a couple back.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't need to fight. Maybe it's not worth it, because it's 3 points every time I throw a character in, because I am basically paper.
Yep.
As soon as I go in, I'm going to do my thing, and then I'm probably going to die.
Yep.
So it's about, also, you have a large amount of control as to how many points you are going to give away on that secondary.
For sure.
Now,
like you said,
both has Assassination, it goes to both players, but the downside is a lot less for the Death Guard.
Yep.
Because protecting them is what you're going to want be what you want to do anyway.
Yeah, you want them to be on the board at the end. Like, you don't mind if you lose everything, but they're normally the thing that are clinging onto one objective in the home on your home area.
Yeah.
Maybe an objective sort of in no man's land when there's not much left. Like you said, the problem that Glenn's going to have is his succubus is going to want to come forward.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's going to want to start chopping stuff up. But the second that you leave that succubus out in the open, it's 3 points gifted easily, isn't it? So we'll have to see how Assassination plays out. It's literally going to be a battle of who can kill the most characters. Simple as that. So we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, the second Plague Burst Crawler is about to shoot now. It's sort of shooting down the line against a radar on the bottom side here.
So is it that Plague Burst Crawler there, that one? Is that the one?
I believe that's the one on the top, but I can't quite tell. Yeah, so that's the one on the top side. That one's already fired. This one on the bottom left-hand side. Did you see it on the top down? So it's done 3 damage, and the top one that fired in Ravager only did 2 damage. So it's not too effective so far.
Okay.
But it's one of those where if you start putting CP into Plague Burst Crawlers, it can do a lot more damage, can't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Also, like, if you can start shifting those Dark Lancers as well, like, then the Plague Burst Crawlers, again, the vehicles feel a little bit more untouchable. You know what I mean? Especially in Death Guard with that -1 damage.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Shift Dark Lancers early, and you start going, right, these Plague Burst Crawlers could be around for a while. Entropy cannons on them. Plague Burst mortars, they're all right. Okay, well, I think they're not as good as they used to be in their shiny heyday, but we'll see what Alex can get out of them for this game, shall we?
So we got 5 shots.
Okay.
Only 1 wound through, 3 damage to that raider, so nothing particularly important there. And then finally, for the side of Alex and his Death Guard, we have got to the left.
Okay.
So that is going to be on his big squad of Plague Marines.
Right,
now,
okay.
I was wondering if the table bosses could direct us to where the big squad of Plague Marines is. I'm going to assume for now that it's in that top rhino on the top left. So that's his first to the last unit, and then beneath that, we have 2 units of Blightlord Terminators, the other 2.
Right.
So there's a lot of points tied up in that brick of Blightlord Terminators and the characters behind it living for the side of the Death Guard.
Yeah.
Which, as a Death Guard player, it's your strength. You kind of want that. It's not too bad a position.
You have to bank on surviving because that is your entire game plan anyway. So you might as well go, if I'm going to survive, I need to take these. If I don't score these secondaries, I've lost the game anyway. Yes. So it is very much a... This is my one-trick pony, and I'm going to play it every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but you want to play towards your strengths. You don't want a plan A and a plan B.
Yep.
You just want the strongest plan A you can absolutely find, right?
Agreed.
Because your plan B probably isn't going to be as good as your plan A was.
Agreed.
So you're going to be struggling. So you want to build for that extreme, try and...
I would imagine, again, we need a bit of confirmation from our table bosses. I would imagine the Plague Marines are in there,
I would assume so too.
Yeah.
You can see some fellas on the top there, so I assume that's where they're
I would imagine these are some Blightlord Terminators down here. Looking for that early shunt over there, because they are slow. So trying to get to that priority target early, it'll take them a turn.
Yeah.
Alex is fine with that. And then they'll move on from there. So
I think we're going to end up with one big turn where the Drukhari really go and try and hammer this brick.
Yep.
And if they fail to kill it, that brick's just going to walk through them.
Yeah.
And if they succeed, the game's over.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
Now, we are using a lot of CP already. There's a lightning fast reflexes going down on that raider that was already taking some damage. Just trying to keep it alive for as long as possible here. Really seeing the value of those Dark Lancers.
Yeah.
Although you still have Cloud of Flies as an option if you're playing with Death Guard, just to keep yourself nice and safe behind those Poxwalkers.
So are we is it this raider that's lightning?
No, bottom.
Sorry, the bottom raider. Cool, forgive me.
No, you're absolutely fine. You're good. I believe there's a Ravagers up there. Now those, the power of those cannot be overstated in a specific matchup.
Okay.
Because they are the effective gunboats of the Drukhari. Now you don't often see them. They're not massively popular. But what you end up with is they all have Dark Lancers.
Yes.
And they're also, I believe they're going to be Cabal of a Black Heart, so they'll have one reroll to hit. So they'll have 3 shots hitting on 3s, 3 rolling. And now we're going to be making some charges.
Oh.
We're trying an 11-inch charge from the Plague Marines down on the bottom side into that raider. So it looks like the Plague Marines might be on this bottom side.
Right, okay.
That's a small squad.
So these are Plague Marines, not Terminators, correct?
Yes.
And they're going to try into that raider there, try and finish it off.
Through the entire list, so
should we just we'll have a quick dance through the list, see if there's anything that we've missed.
I'll read out the Death Guard to you, and then you can butt in and react to things that you think are a little bit weird. Like. So we've got the Lord of Virulence that's already in there.
Yep, I'm assuming it's in Deep Strike, the Lord of Virulence, or is he on the table? Is Lord of Virulence on the table, or is he in Deep Strike? Is everything on the table for the Death Guard?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure we'll find out from our table bosses in due course.
Cool.
We've also had a Spread the Sickness that has been done on that bottom left-hand objective, on objective 3.
Okay.
So that's already going to be 3 points in the bank for Alex and his Death Guard. Agreed. You've got the Malignant Playcast, we've already mentioned. You've then got a squad of, I believe, 10 Plague Marines.
So these are the last ones, and we think these are in the Rhino currently, which would be a good play for them to keep them safe early game. Yep, 100%. You've then got another squad of, I think, 9 Plague Marines. Okay, so those will be the ones at the bottom of your screen now, guys. Yes, 100%. Then you have the 2 squads of Blightlord Terminators. That is 2 squads of 5. They've got a Bale Sword. One has Virulent Fever. One has Unstable Sickness. Okay. We've then got a squad of Death Shroud Terminators and a Foul Blightspawn and a Tallyman. 2 Plague Burst Crawlers and a Chaos Rhino. And that's the entire Death Guard list. Very elite. What do you think? About to say, very elite. That's the thing with Death Guard. You always feel like you don't really actually get much, but then again, we always have to take into account how damn tough they are. They just really are. So you're a bit like, there's 5 Blightlord Terminators you got. So it's a squad of 5. Oh, wait. 3 wounds, 2 up, 4 up, Armor of Contempt. You can stack Psychic Spells onto them for +1 toughness or -1 to hit. And before you know it, you can do, let's say they kill 5, you just replace them with another 5 and you repeat those buffs. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And it's every time a Dark Lance does get through, it hurts. Yeah, it's like losing Custodes. Yep. It's so expensive because you just feel that pain every time one goes through and just... That D3 plus 3 is instant death because the minimum you can get is a 4 -1, job done. So
Yeah, it's really, really good. Really, really scary. And that's why those Ravages are kind of target priority #1 over Heavy Blade Burst Crawlers when they have the line of sight. Yep. Although, interestingly, seeing Alex not go for anything he doesn't have line of sight on with the indirect fire.
Yeah.
Because we do have the +1 to your save whenever you're firing with it.
Yep.
And you do have the -1 to ballistic skill as well, because you're hit on 3s or 4s normally.
So they normally hit on 3s, so you'd be hitting on 4s, but then obviously if you're going in against something that has a 4+ armor save, for example, all of a sudden it has a 3+. It just, again, you still have the -2 on the AP, so it still takes into effect, but you're still neutering the effectiveness of the gun.
Specifically, it's not a modifier, it's a change to your ballistic skill.
Correct, yes.
So your ballistic skill will become a 4+.
Yep.
And then if you were to add a modifier on top of it, like a lightning fast reflexes, now you're hitting on 5s.
Yep.
So it does stack with that, which makes it very, very hard for you to actually do your job. Now,
I'm assuming the charge was failed in the middle, by the way, with was it some Black Lord Terminators into something in the middle?
I'd need to check with the table bosses. I haven't heard anything about that. But it looks like we are getting some stuff out of the raiding.
Ooh.
A bunch of racks coming out.
Are they racks?
But to describe that, I'm going to have to go full rap mode.
Oh, please do. Tom, I've been waiting for you to say something.
I will not do that, but...
Why not? Why not? I want you to read it off like a rap, okay?
I'm not going to read it off like a rap, but there's a lot of units.
Okay.
So...
Give me some highlights of this Drukhari list, okay?
I'm going to give you the whole Drukhari list.
Oh, you're going to give me... all right. Chat, if you're... can you just brace yourself? Because I'm about to brace myself. So I'm in Nottingham, Goonhammer, and I am ready for Tom Layton to go crazy on me.
It's got a succubus in it.
Is that it? Is that what you're doing? Is that it? Who do you think you are? I was prepared for a full-on rap there.
Not a rapper.
Okay.
With precision blows and trip whip, which is a combo you don't normally see.
Okay.
You often see precision blows with razor flails.
Yep.
Because the precision blows allow you to do mortal wounds on hit equivalent to your damage value.
Yep.
You'd see people take the Dark Lotus Toxin, which gives you +1 damage on your weapon. Razor flails to get as many attacks as you can, which then become damage 2, and then precision blows to proc as many mortal wounds you physically can. So every time you roll a 6 to hit, it's just 2 mortal wounds.
Yep.
Very, very good.
Yep.
But now you see that comboed with a Triptych Whip, and often with a Triptych Whip, you'd see that comboed with Competitive Edge to allow you to be very, very consistently damage dealing. And instead we've got the big mortal wound variant. Okay. So, rather than having 2 good succubus, you have 1 very good succubus.
Right, okay.
So, we've got a unit of 5 Cabalite Warriors. They're chaff, you don't need to worry about them.
Of course, yeah, they're just there for back objectives.
1 unit of 5 Mandrakes. 1 unit of 8 Hellions. That is followed up by Homunculus. 1 unit of upgraded.
Alex has come round and offered us a sweet. Is that a sweet?
But I can't eat them because they will kill me.
This is amazing. Thank you very much. Right. All vote for Death Guard forever. Okay, yeah. That's how it is now. We've been given sweets. Yeah, I've been bribed. Okay. I've been bribed. It's happened.
So the Homoxites are the upgraded racks.
Right.
So in the same way you can get Cabalite Trueborn or Hecatrix Bloodbrides, this is the rack equivalent.
Yep.
So it's the upgraded
is that
racks.
Just tougher racks then, by any chance?
Yes, but I can't remember how.
That's fine.
I never paid for the upgrade. He's just taking it. I'm sure the channel will be able to let you know. 2 more units of 5 racks. And then you've got a final Cabal of a Black Heart detachment with a unit of 4 Urgul. Now, Urgul, I'm a big fan of because they're very, very cheap. And they've got 3 wounds and a 5 feel no pain.
Wow, okay.
7+4. Yeah, they're good. And you've got a Lemaine and a Sliff in there as well. You've got a slightly upgraded Court of the Archon. But the Archon has Tolerated Ambition to get the Djinn Blade, which is the upgraded Husk Blade that you can get as a relic. And it has Ancient Evil, which is a Fight Last aura.
Oh, so wow, all right.
2 Fight Last auras.
So the biologist, the Death Guard guy has it.
Foul Blightspawn.
Foul Blightspawn, I was saying biologist. Putrefy, wrong one. Blightspawn has it with his Revolting Stench Vats.
Yes.
And now this guy does. So maybe if these come into contact with each other.
Yeah.
It's going to be no, I don't want to fight. No, you don't want to fight
either.
It's
like the shopping trolleys in Tesco's.
Literally,
it's entirely normal. It's fine. You've then got another unit of Cabalite Warriors. Drazhar.
Now we know Draz can do the chopping. Draz is a beast. Yeah.
10 Incubi. 10 more Incubi. So you've got 25 Incubi.
Wow, okay.
You don't want them fighting last, though.
No, absolutely not.
You need to try and peel away that Foul Blightspawn.
Yep.
Then 2 Ravagers. And then 2 Raiders with Disintegrator Cannon and a Venom. I do not expect anyone to remember all of that.
No. I think what we'll do is we'll look at stuff on the board, and as they pick it up, we'll go, oh, yeah, he had a Venom. Do you remember that Venom?
A rack.
Yeah?
That's a rack.
That's a rack. Can we have a round of applause in chat, please? Yes, thank you. Well done, Tom, for reeling all that off before the end of the game.
Aggie gameplay.
Okay.
Here come the Hellions.
Oh, are they here?
Yeah. The Hellions are jumping out from behind their wall. They are sending it.
Oh, they're sending it.
And they're going to charge directly into this mass on Objective 3. Now, if we can get a closer look at what's on Objective 3, that'd be really appreciated, just to see which units are down there, to see what the Hellions are going to be charging.
So, these Hellions here, guys, with my horrible drawing. So, there's definitely a wall of Poxwalkers here. Because these spread the sickness. Yeah, so -1 to hit. They spread the sickness. They've done their job, some would argue. I believe there's going to be some support characters behind. Is that correct? I look like it.
So. I need to really identify exactly where that foul blight spawn is. Okay. With his revolting stench fact.
So we're just getting a camera angle on that now, by the looks of things. So we'll see what's happening in that melee of poxwalkery, smelly goodness.
I mean, to be honest, I could talk about if I'm the Drukhari, I want to spread it up. But to be honest, I have mad respect that we've got a massive fight going on in this bottom section. Like, there's all the transports are down here. You've got the Venom. Yep. You've got the Raiders. All the things that are on the top side aren't charging anything anyway. Pretty much.
No, absolutely.
All the fighting. Oh, come on.
Oh, he's just going to move it up there. He's just why? No. We want you to go south. Go and play with Objective 3.
That's the commentator's curse.
It is. Yeah, you say something and he goes, no, actually, I want to go play with a Rhino. What are you going to do, Tom?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I got it wrong.
I'm going to change the narrative is what I'm going to do.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, the camera's gone off. Who's turned the camera off? That one's off.
That was a nice fade.
Was it? Yeah, but camera 3's gone off, Mikey. What have you done to me?
That's disappointing. Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. We'll come back to it.
We'll come back to that in a bit. We've got the Hellions coming down to charge into that as well. That's really, really solid. We'll have to see how that works out. And we really need to identify where that foul blight spawn is. So...
The blight spawn is in the Rhino, I've just been told.
The blight spawn is in the Rhino.
Rhino. So that must mean he's in the Rhino with the Plague Marines? Yeah?
I would assume so, which means...
Rhino capacity is 12?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like 11, something like that.
Yeah.
Either way, that's going to mean all of the units down on the bottom side are currently blight spawnless.
Which means no fight last.
No fight last. So if you were to pump some Incubi, you might be able, into that combat, you might be able to pump some Terminators as well.
Ooh.
We'll have to see. Especially you've got Drukhari in there, because he gives +1 to wound.
Yep.
That's very, very solid with your strength 5 weapons. So, all the racks kind of coming out now. Seeing what we can get done down on this side. Just kind of sizing each other up, getting ready for this melee. We're already at turn 2, and as we can see, we've got quite a good, solid selection on the take and hold for Glenn. He's got 15 points there, which means 2 things. Firstly, you've got 3 points on the primary for the priority targets.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
And secondly, it means that he scored 12 in his first turn on primary.
Yes, which is effectively max. He's maxed turn 1.
Yeah, it is max, because it means he's held all 3. So he's held 2, 4, and 3 in the center as well.
And obviously 1 was his priority. Makes sense.
And that's very important for offsetting the value of that second turn. Because it doesn't matter if you have an extra opportunity to take more primaries because you went second, if you're both maxing primaries anyway.
Exactly.
There's no advantage. And therefore, it only means you get the advantage because you get the first move. Because it doesn't even matter about... it doesn't balance it out on primary points.
Yeah, totally.
Your opponent's already maxing it anyway.
Yeah, but also it just gives you a bit of a comfort blanket knowing that if you max it turn 1, you can only 45 max the primary anyway.
Yeah.
So you go to yourself, right, I can only get 30 for that for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So if I happen to have to be off an objective at some point, unless I desperately need that objective to deny you it, I can give it up. Like, for example, if I need to, if push comes to shove. And it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable getting into the late game, doesn't it? So
Absolutely. But it's also one of those missions where it's so easy to max your primaries.
Yeah.
Because you really should be maxing out on your priority targets.
Yeah.
You really should be. I mean, if you're not doing that, you've probably lost the game anyway, which means 15 points in the bag.
Yes.
Okay? Now you only need to achieve 30 more points on your primaries.
Yep.
That is the equivalent of holding 2 for all 4 of your turns.
Yeah, agreed.
It's not hard at all.
So we've motored through. So this is already turn 2. So if you're just joining us, thank you so much, guys. This is round 3 of the Goonhammer Open in Nottingham. 128 players, 6 games over the weekend. You're going to have us here. So this is game 3. You're going to have us here all day tomorrow as well for game 4, game 5, and hopefully the top table, game 6 on Sunday night. So if you had any plans, cancel them right now. Let us know in chat where you're watching from as well. So me and Tom can give you a bit of a shout out. We'd love to know what's been happening. Are you working on anything right now?
Any Welsh boys in the chat?
Why Welsh boys in the chat?
I need to recruit them.
Oh, right, okay. Make yourself known in the chat now, if you are. Oh, yeah, we'd love to know what you've been up to. Are you working on something right now? Have you picked up, you know, are you into the new Chaos Knights? Have you got one of these armies yourself and you're keen to watch what happens? Again, both of these players, Tom, on full wins so far, so two wins. Yeah.
Yep.
And this is why we picked it up. This was table 3 of the event, and we thought, this is, you know, again, it's not Tyranids.
You don't normally see these
it's
days,
not Eldar.
Which is wild.
Yeah, which is really good. And it's really nice to see again. We do some analysis of the Drukhari win rates and obviously win rates on Meta Mondays and stuff like that. Yeah, Drukhari's still sitting around that 50% mark. They're a really good faction still. You know what I mean?
They're still enough to play. I mean, I'd be interested to see how they would have done if it weren't for all the nerfs.
Oh, Tom, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Have you seen who said they have Welsh ancestry in the chat? Oh, no. Would you like to recruit Chapter Master Valrak?
I mean, if he wants to come and finally play a game, then...
Shots fired!
No,
Shots fired!
Honestly, we've been trying to organise a game since pre-pandemic.
Really? Okay. Wow.
But it only comes across a Pan to one man.
Yes, yeah. I mean, Chapter Master Valrak
He doesn't come across to me.
No, Chapter Master Valrak will come to see Mikey occasionally, and then the rest of the time...
And to be fair, Mikey's a little bit further west than I am.
He is,
so, I mean, you know,
Valrak's lovely to see you in the chat, buddy. We're glad you finally come to watch some proper 40k content, because we both know that you now don't know how to play. You've got no idea. You just make the rules up at this point, don't you, buddy?
To be honest, mate, I feel pretty privileged that we have a faction on the table whose rules I actually know.
Yes. Yes. However, Valrak will be looking at the screen right now going, I don't know any of these units. Those are incubi.
Yellow on this table.
Yeah, there's no yellow. So therefore, I don't know. It's not an intercessor, and it's not a other Space Marine character like a captain, okay? So you've got incubi, you've got a raider there, you've got a ravager, you've got racks in the red. There you go, Valrak. I've given you a lesson today.
I mean,
all right?
as we could see on this angle, the succubus looks like she got out of the venom before the venom ran off.
Yep.
Just so that you've already taken your racks out. If the venom dies, you roll a d6 everyone inside, and you can't just tank it on someone else if you roll a 1. So the succubus needs to come out for her own safety, and then you have some incubi running across there just to kind of keep her safe. But you can see a bunch of dice being rolled as well. That is currently for all the Hellions charging into the Poxwalkers. They're rolling all their attacks directly in there. The venom is also charging. Oh, sorry, that was shooting.
Shooting, were you shooting? Got you? Cool.
My mistake.
No, hey, more. That means more damage and more killing to come. That's the good thing.
Because the Hellions have splinter pods.
Yeah.
So they get to fire, I believe, 2 shots each, which is it's poison, so it's not the greatest into low toughness units like the Poxwalkers. Yep. But it is something at least. Then you've got the Venom, which has a splinter cannon on it. Okay. Which has 2 damage. It's a poison weapon again, but it's also a good number of shots, so it's rapid fire.
It's a better heavy bolter.
It's a better heavy bolter.
That's a good way to describe it.
Although it depends upon the context, because if you're firing at a unit of toughness 3, you're still winning on force.
Yep.
Whereas the heavy bolter would not be winning.
Yes.
So it's very equivalent.
Swings and roundabouts. Swings and roundabouts. Yeah.
So it depends upon what you're firing at most of the time, really. But obviously the -1 AP not really mattering too much these days, is it?
No, not really. Especially like again into something like a Drukhari, a Drukhari and Death Guard. The only thing that's going to matter is the Dark Lancers for the AP. Yeah. Everything else is just, I'm going to roll 4-ups and pray to God you fail your saves. It's as simple as that, you know? But then again, if you put Plague Marines in cover, they've got a 2-up against poison weapons. Yeah. They're very tough. Again, we know the Blight Lords are going to be on 2-up, 4-ups the entire game. There's nothing that's going to shift that, really. Might take it down to a 3 or a 4-up if it's a Dark Lance, etc. So, you know, we'll have to see. I think this game is going to come down to combat and who can outlast each other on objectives. Because...
Partly?
I don't know if does any army really have the guns?
I mean, it's not even necessarily about killing because I think the primary is pretty much settled. Yeah. I think primary should be pretty easy for both players to do. The Drukhari have got a nice lead on it, and they should have enough time to get all the primary points they need. Yeah. The Death Guard, I can't really see them being pushed in a lot. So we've got the Hellions now charging in the charge phase. Actually, we're already moving into the charge phase. We'll come back to the secondaries in a second. They're going in. They spent 1 CP. Turn off Overwatch. Right. And they spent more CP to reroll wounds in melee. Nice. So they really want to go in here. Looks like they're going to get...
Ooh, is there Blight Lords they're going into?
See if we get the camera angle there. Just see what they're charging into.
Well, I think we're just going to get a camera
very
angle.
Important. The Hellions put extra AP on their attacks as well. Now, this is massively important because Hellions normally only AP -1. Yes. Which is completely cancelled out by Armor of Contempt, meaning you may be charging in, you may be damaged too. In fact, Death Guard don't really even care about Hellions most of the time. They ignore the AP -1 because of Armor of Contempt. They do. They ignore the damage too because they got -1 damage baked in for disgustingly resilient. They don't really care, which is why firstly you need to wave now with massive attacks, which is why you've got that reroll wounds. And then you need to get the extra AP through, so you're not just trying to force your way through 2 up saves constantly. Yeah. Hellions really are not great in this situation.
Yeah, it makes me think, if you were the Drukhari player right now, and you were thinking that your Hellions were so bad in this matchup, would you not use them for move blocking? Would you not have just, rather than charge them in, should you have gone and penciled in the key units, such as the Blight Lord Terminators, and gone, well, you can't get through here now, because I've done a nice little conga line, so you're going to have to fight your way through first? I don't know. I just wonder whether you go, what's the point in charging these guys up when they're not actually that effective, you know? I don't know.
I mean, we've got a lot of charges going on. So we've got the Venom that's gone into the Rhino on the top side as well.
Nice.
Because banter, and I respect it.
Yeah, tie it up if you can.
Yeah, not only that, you've also got that squad of Plague Marines down the bottom side that failed its charge last turn.
Yeah.
It's been charged by the Radar on that far side. It rolled a 12, I believe.
Whoa, okay, so you guys can just see it at the bottom of your screen here. So there's a little Raider, it just came up here, and it just went 12, boom.
Straight in, felt it.
And Raiders aren't any slouch. They got, they can do some, they can pick up a Plague Marine or two, you know what I mean?
And even if you're, assuming that you live, which you should do, I mean, the worst comes to the worst, you're just making it impossible for them to charge next turn.
Yes.
Right? And at the end of the day, you dedicate transport. I always like to say this. At the end of the game, bottom of turn 5, you take all your models off the table anyway.
Yes.
You need to use them as a currency to try and buy yourself as many points as you possibly can to get that big lead.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's going to come down to secondaries. We've already been through about how important primaries are. Primaries are going to be very, very easy to score. It's always going to be about those secondaries. And therefore, the Drukhari really need to force a hole that will allow them to access those characters later on in the game.
Yes.
Because otherwise, they're basically operating from the 15-point sink from that assassination pick, because of how Death Guard like to play with their characters.
So Valrak, by the way, saying he's going to Horus Heresy now. So I guess your only chance you've got of playing Valrak, Tom, is if you buy the Horus Heresy. You heard box
I'm buying that.
Oh, you are? Okay, very nice. What Legion? Just while we've got a break in play.
So I'm going to do Thousand Suns.
Oh, very nice. You go for the red, the nice crimson red.
I want to try out the Army Painter metallics.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, because they have a really nice sheen and vibrancy to them and stuff like that. So.
But I've already got my Space Wolves.
Oh.
So I can also do that diorama.
Yeah,
so
you can,
good. Yeah,
is that what you're planning? Basically going to go to what's the book called now? You're gonna play out the book of
A Thousand Suns of Prospero Burns.
But Prospero, that was it. I was like, Jesus. Oh man, so good, so good. But you could play that out.
Prospero Burns.
Yeah, I think I really like the Space Wolf book in that one, because I just love how the conversation is from the Space Wolf perspective. It's just so Space Wolf. I love it.
Yeah, really, really good. Yeah, I'm currently working my way through from the start chronologically.
Oh, nice.
Actually, in terms of release order. So, yeah. I don't even know most of the spoilers, to be honest. So
Tom Manga saying, didn't expect to see Death Guard today. Yeah, Death Guard currently 2-0. 2-0. Yes, we said it. Yes, it is only game 3, but that's really good. It means that Death Guard aren't a pushover anymore. Armor of Contempt coming in, really helping them out. It's a really nice and balanced list as well. Let's not kid ourselves. It's got 2 squads of Blight Lord Terminators. It's got lots of Plague Marines. It's Poxmongers. So it has some really good shenanigans for the troops and the infantry. -1 damage, which is going to come into a bit of effect for the... Well, actually, against Drukhari, it's not really going to come into too much effect unless, like you said, mainly other than the Hellions. But yeah, it's going to be a good game, this. The Drukhari is a literal pick and mix of the Drukhari goodness. It's a real space raiding force with 2 squads of Incubi. So I think there's 25 Incubi in the table in total. There's some Racks holding objectives. There's Raiders. There's Ravagers. There's a mean Succubus. So basically, guys, we're in for a good old choppy round 3 of the Goonhammer Open. Jake B said, can you folks talk a little about how the Plague Marines are kitted out? Melee weapons, mix of melee and shooting. I believe, Jake, they are all melee, but I will let you know in a second. Yep, so the Rhino did a wound to the Venom in combat, did it? So what, 6s to hit? And it just... Wow. Rhino just basically nutted the Venom and went, take a wound.
I'm a big fan of that.
I love that.
Everyone wants to get involved. You still got witches on the back of that thing, remember?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, they want a piece of that. I mean, not the strongest things in the world, but they can find a nice spot gliding over the top of it. That'll do all right. I'm really interested to see the Death Guard response here. And I'm also really interested to see exactly how much damage was done to the Blight Lord Terminators, because I know... or the Death Shroud Terminators, rather. I know that they swung first, but it doesn't look like I've seen any models removed from that Death Shroud Terminators. Despite putting in 1 CP to ignore Overwatch, 2 CP to reroll to wound, another CP to give you an extra point of AP.
Yeah. They've put some serious CPs into that.
Criticize them for lack of effort.
Yes, but it might come back to if
which in a way is worse when there's no results.
Yes, that's a nice way of putting it. Which makes me think, if the table bosses can check if any Blight Lord Terminators were removed, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, by the Hellions in the centre.
However, if they weren't, it goes back to my initial point. Do you accept that Hellions in this game are not going to be what you want them to be?
I think the Armour of Contempt edition was a big change to them specifically. I think there are some factions that are affected far more than others by the Armour of Contempt change. I think Witch Cult style Drukhari 100% was. I think Gene Stealer cults were as well.
Yep.
I think there are some other factions that got away with it more. Nids, I think, are okay.
Yep.
Eldar, I think, are okay to some degree as well. Although it depends upon what kind of Armour of Contempt you're fighting. Because there's some factions that use it slightly differently.
Yes.
Thousand Suns, for example, use it very, very well with their +1 to their save when they're hitting damage 1.
Yes.
Right. Death Guard don't utilize the Armour of Contempt quite as much, but when they do, it's much more efficient because of that -1 damage.
Yep.
Right. So it's not affecting them as much. We can get more value out of it. Grey Knights can stack up to 3 Armour of Contempt effectively on themselves, because they can get Armour of Contempt with 0 point of AP, Armoured Resilience and sorted units to give them an extra +1 to their save, and they can get Tide of Shadows. We give them that light cover anywhere they want to, so long as they're outside of 12 inches. And then there's a couple of relics as well, like the Cure S, that you can get and make.
So basically what you're saying is you can get a Grey Knight unit basically saying, I'm on 2-ups no matter what, come at me, brah.
Yeah, literally. You give them a -1 save.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So, Raiders is down to 4 wounds after being piled into by the Plague Marines there. We've done 1 damage with the Death Guard and then 2 damage with the Power Fist as well. So that's been taken down quite a significant chunk there, because it took 3 wounds earlier from the Plague Burst Crawler. So down to 4, and now it's back down to 2. It's taking even more damage as well.
Wow. So just to quickly answer Jake's question from chat. So there are 2 squads of Plague Marines. The big squad of 10, which is to the last, are basically bolters, a Blight Launcher, and a demonic. Basically nothing too exciting. Those are basically bolters, shooty chaff guys. And then we have the squad of 9, which are kitted out more with, like, for example, there's a Flare of the Corruption in there. There is a Great Plague Cleaver, which is obviously really good. A Demonic Plague Blade. So yeah, those ones, there's basically a variation of each of them. So I hope that answers your question, mate. I think we'll see them obviously both play differently. One of them needs to be held back because it is there to the last. The other one, at the bottom of the screen, which you can just see right in the middle of the bottom, is heading towards those racks on Objective 4. Again, just to remind everyone, we are playing Secure Missing Artifacts. It's the old priority targets, which means each player selects their priority target, and both players, Alex has chosen 3 for the Death Guard, and Drukhari has chosen 4. So they're going to be, as you can see, they're really close as well, those objectives, because they've been moved. So that means that they're going to be playing for those crutch points really close together, again, benefiting the Death Guard through this game.
So, you might be able to notice if you're an eagle-eyed individual, a certain little blue blob.
Oh, a blue blob?
A blue blob.
Oh, how dare it appear on this screen. What's going on in this blue blob?
That's retrieved Nachman data.
Oh, and is that...
5 Cavalite warriors.
Ah.
Deep struck.
Okay.
And Nachman did it.
They did. So that means they've done it in 2 quarters now, right?
Yep. So that means 4 points now on the retrieved Nachman data.
Yeah.
And we're also going to be able to see how many points you get from Herd for Prey this turn. Because Herd for Prey, you can't score on your first turn.
Yes.
You have to score on turns 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
So it looks like you're only going to get 1 quarter there. So with 2 points on Herd for Prey as well. But also, you know how we're talking about how a lot of CP are being poured into those Hellions?
Yes.
Well, they also Lightning Fast Reflexed.
So what? That about 4
Lightning
CP?
Fast Reflex.
Reflex did. So what? 4 CP burnt there?
So 1 for Ignore Overwatch.
Yeah.
2 for Alter Wound.
Yeah.
1 for +1 point of AP.
Wow.
1 for Lightning Fast.
Yes. So 5. Ooh.
And how many?
He's got 3 CP left as Glenn.
How many Terminators did they kill?
I still think we've all got... I think we can kill a single Terminator. Table bosses, are there 5 Terminators still in fighting with those Hellions? I feel like we've asked it 3 times.
It doesn't look like they've piled in.
No.
At all.
Oh, it looks like we've fought back now.
Terminators.
There's 4, so that means he must have picked 1 up, surely. So we're seeing...
So there were 4 Terminators killed from the centre.
4 killed
So they killed. So no Terminators have died in the centre. Okay.
So we're just working out what the situation is right now, guys. Definitely been 4 Hellions
So 1
removed.
took a wound from the Hellions.
This is... Somebody just tell us how many Blight Lord Terminators are left, please! Please, chat, we're there for you. We're going to find this out, okay? Jake, you're welcome, buddy. Anytime for the info. If you're interested in the lists, you'll be able to see them on BCP. All the list and pairings are on there. Truck Station 5 saying, hello from across the pond. hello from across the pond. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I hope you're having a great time.
I have the answer.
Thank you, Lord. Please tell us what's going on. Yes.
Killed one Terminator earlier from shooting.
Right.
And then did a wound.
So 4 wounds in total. That's maths. Great. And it looks like, chat, there might be about 3 Hellions left there, is what I'm saying. So it looks like there's 3. That is some horrific drawing. That's all I can say. But yeah, we hope you're all having a mint Saturday, guys. You've got Tom and Tom on the desk. Mikey is currently table bossing for us because he's been demoted. We thought Mikey's skills in the past couple of games weren't up to scratch. Just thought he was poor and letting the side down, so we binned him off. You got me and Tom bringing you all the big competitive 40k insights for the next sort of 2 hours or so. So strap yourselves in.
My current insight is that a lot of Hellions died.
Tom, I just said we were going to give incredible competitive creative insight, and that's what you open with. Hellions died. Is that it? How many?
Loads.
Loads. This is
5 Hellions died.
5 Hellions died.
5 Hellions died, which is as many CP as was poured into that one Wimmer did.
I wonder if Glenn regrets that.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think Glenn realised, but about the -1 damage.
Yes.
Because as we were talking about earlier, the -1 damage doesn't really come into effect in the shooting phase.
Yes.
Because all the guns for Drukhari are D3 plus 3.
Yep.
So it does 4 damage, back down to 3, still kills Terminators. Anyway, it doesn't really come into play. But the Hellions are damage 2.
Yep.
So now it does come into play. I don't think you quite realise.
Yep.
This is not a unit you can blast through with the Hellions.
No.
They ignore every bit of damage. That's why he put the extra point of AP in, because he committed now. And he's like, oh, well, I know. It was sunk cost fallacy. He committed, and then he had to keep going to try and justify it. Yep. And it just made it worse.
Yep. Again, one of those, if he'd have maybe spotted that a bit earlier, you just accept, you play the Hellions a lot more gamey for the entire game. You play them to deny objectives or to block or whatever it might be, because they've got speed.
Yep.
Yeah, they're made of paper, but the point is that that's not what you need them for in this game.
Absolutely. 100%.
So, you know.
You want to avoid the Death Guard brick and score points around the side. So I'd have been tempted, rather than going Assassination, or no, Hood of Prey, you had to go for your Engaged Not Fronts version.
Yes.
Basically, it's just try and go for things like deploy teleport homers even, rather than Rod, maybe?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
But that's kind of greedy. It depends on how the deck want to play
we're still looking at the elephant in the room.
To force it out.
Yeah, the elephant in the room is Assassination.
It is.
You take anything else other than Assassination, for Glenn, in my opinion, but time will tell, yeah? We might be proven wrong. You might be able to pick up 2 characters in the next turn or 2.
I'd have to have a look at the actual deck, but it's one of those where you want to take things that force your opponent to spread out.
Yep.
And Assassination absolutely does not do that. But now that you've done that, you want to avoid that break as much as you can. That said, Glenn has been able to pick up a good number of points.
Yep.
So Glenn is currently running on, he's got 4 points for receiving that mandate for doing the 2 corners in the top right and bottom left.
Yep.
Bottom right, he should be able to get a pretty good point. Top left might be a little bit tricky though. Maybe he can get that in turn 3 with some more deep strikes, we'll have to see. Then we got Herd for Prey. So now, if he didn't get it for 2, he got it for 2 quarters. So on the top right and the bottom right, because he was able to shove that raider out and just clear out the entire section.
Yep.
Right?
So is that 2 points there for Herd the Prey?
2 points for each quarter.
For each quarter. So that's a nice, that's a sexy 4. I'll take that,
4 points. So he's done all right with that one. And then he also got his priority target as well, which meant that he got 3 points on there. So he's already up to 36. This is what we're talking about. It's turn 2. And he's already started to get those points racked up on the early stages of the game. And then it's going to be a case of holding on. Now, we are currently in the Death Guard turn 2, and the Rhino...
I think, is the Rhino trying to fall out of combat past the Venom, by the looks of it?
It looks like it.
Trying to, try to do a drive-by and then fall out at the same time.
I'll tell you what, that colour scheme reminds me of Cadbury's mint chocolate.
Yes, I'll give you that.
It's got the purple, it's got the green.
So the shot that you see at the moment, guys, is sort of like the top left of the board. You'll see the 3 Hellions on the left there with the 4 remaining Death Shroud, not Death Shroud, Blight Lords. Their words. Yep. Then below them you'll see those look like Incubi with is that Draz there below? Yes. So they're geared up for, I think they're going to go in next turn, so he needs to try and shoot or tie them up somehow with even bolters or something. Just try and plink some of those Incubi off, because they're nasty when they go in.
Especially when you've got Drukhari there as well.
+1 to wounds.
A lot of buffing, And especially you've got the Fire Blightspawn in full access, because the Fire Blightspawn is still in that Rhino, and that Rhino is actually just fallen back from the Venom.
Yep.
So now it's moved, you're not going to be able to disembark from there.
Yep.
So all this stuff down the bottom side is a little bit susceptible.
Yep.
So it couldn't fit through the gap, apparently, so it's just had to fall out ready. Which is why that Venom play was actually quite good. It's worked out quite well.
Because it's also, that's full of stuff. That's chock full of stuff. So you're thinking, that's another turn that I'm going to have to wait, because I'm going to have to kill that Venom first before I can then move out to where I want to be, which is the middle of the board where you see the objective. You'll see the Incubi on there. You'll see that it looks like Draz is on there as well. That's where those Plague Marines and the characters, well, I guess the characters in this case don't actually want to be there because they might get chopped up. But
I mean, both players take assassination. You got to be very careful about that. But at the same time, I think at some point you're going to need to take a risk and throw your characters in to try and unlock the enemy characters.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a weird catch-22 there. In order to get to his characters, you have to take the risk of you losing yours.
Yeah.
Do you even want to take that risk? Well, let's look at the secondaries. You're probably going to get a very high score and spread the sickness here with the Death Guard, because you can't just keep disengaging and appeasing them forever and standing off, because otherwise it's just going to walk around the entire board and ruin your day, right?
If I'm looking at Death Guard, I would say this should be a 9-point spread the sickness game at least. So he's got 2 home objectives, 3 on the top left, and then you're going to assume that as the late game plays, he'll have something to be able to do it on the middle objective, or even 4.
I think he'll get 4.
Yeah, so we'll see.
So I think that'll be a 12. What I'm trying to work out is if the Drukhari stand off and appease the Death Guard, how many points is the Death Guard going to get? They're going to get the spread the sickness.
Yeah.
They're going to get the to the last. So that'll be 27 points.
Yeah.
You're only going to get the primaries, which I'm assuming everyone's going to max, especially if you stand off.
Yep.
So you'll have a 45 points on there. So that'll be 65 points up to 72 points. And then they'll get nothing for assassination, right? Now, if you can just quickly pull up the Drukhari secondaries.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see what standing off gets you. Standing off's going to get you about 2 points on Herb of Prey each turn, because you're just giving board space. So that'll be 3 more turns, in fact you get up to 10 points. You might be able to max yourself the Nakman data as well, if you're lucky, and get yourself 12 points there. So it's 22. Add that to your 45 from primaries. Let's assume that you can max that, which I think isn't a sure thing if you just give the Death Guard their space. That's going to give them a total of 67 points.
Yep.
So if you just stand off the Death Guard, you lose the game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you have to take the game to the Death Guard.
Yeah, you have to take the risk now. And especially when the Flower Blight spawn, it's in the top left-hand corner, stuck with your Plague Marines. You've got an opportunity here to try and remove some of the Blight Lord Terminators, especially those ones in the center.
Yeah.
It's all about whether Glenn can stay focused on how exactly are these Blight Lord Terminators durable? He's gone in, he's hit them, and he's gone, oh crap.
Yeah.
They are actually really durable.
Yeah.
But if he takes a breather, tries to work out, okay, exactly why are they durable, and what do I need to hit them with to remove this threat, maybe he can find something.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to have to be. We're talking about that big turn for Drukhari. Has to come in at some point.
Yeah.
It has to come in turn
3. Turn 3. Also, otherwise, it's too late. It's too late.
That's still important, because Power from Pain is a big, important rule in this game. So turn 2, you get +1 to, you get Advance to Charge.
Advance to Charge, correct, yeah.
Turn 3, from +1 to hit procs.
Yeah.
This is going to have to be a mega turn for the Drukhari, otherwise I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle against the Death Guard, unless something really weird happens.
So it looks like we've got some stuff coming in from reserve. It looks like Death Shroud, squad of 3 there.
Yeah, coming in at the backside.
Yeah, maybe gonna spurt the Venom and then maybe charge the Ravager on the right, maybe. Plague Spurt Gauntlets, maybe. That was my voice impression of a Plague Spurt Gauntlet.
We have got the Psychic Phase coming in now, so that's all the end of that's the end of a movement.
Right. Okay.
But I mean, it is threat diversification because the Ravagers can't shoot everyone.
Yep. Like you said, spread the enemies out and just make them think, well, I can't shoot again at all this stuff at once.
Commit everything. Yep. If you're not going to commit, don't commit anything.
Yeah, wait.
It's the same as we saw in round 1, and to a degree, we were talking about it a little bit in round 2 as well. Yep. Because if you just commit little bits, it's not going to get you anything. It's like with the Heldrakes, when you throw them in, he's got to deal with them. Yep. But what's he going to deal with them instead of dealing with?
Yep.
Well, there's nothing else for him to shoot. So it's just a free Heldrake. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what you had to do because the Heldrakes are big models and the shooting was quite long. But you need to be able to take advantage of that space. If you're dropping down these Death Shroud Terminators in the backside, he has to shoot at them, but it doesn't mean anything if there's nothing else for him to shoot.
Yep.
So the Raider in the bottom side has now also gone down as well.
Oh, wow.
That has been taken out by a Smite.
Oh, all right.
3 more wounds coming out from the Smite. Killing the Raider on the bottom side, no explosion, but you're starting to get a couple of threats on both these sides here now, looking at maybe contesting these Herb of Prey points.
So if you're looking now, guys, so you'll see the bottom of the screen, that's where the Raider was. It's gone from the Smite, okay? I would also imagine that at some point, either in shooting or in charge, that Venom is toast, in my opinion.
I would assume so. It's only got 6 wounds. Now, it does have a Night Shield, so it's got a 5+ invulnerable save at all times.
But you would hope, weight of fire.
To hit.
You would hope some weight of fire, maybe. Again, there's enough chaff around in that location to be able to deal with that Venom. And then you'd open like you're wondering like whether those Death Shroud could hopefully pick on the Ravager, maybe? We'll see. We'll have to see what happens. But if the vehicles start going down, it really neuters the speed and the Darklands capabilities as well.
So the Plague Burst Crawler on the top side is actually shooting the Ravagers.
Right, okay.
Which I would assume is shooting this one on the right-hand side here.
Yep.
And that one has found lightning fast reflex. They love that lightning fast reflex over here.
They love it. They love it. However, Glenn is running out of CP. Alex is on 11. I think Glenn's on like 2 at this point because he burnt about 5.
That's another 2 lightning fast reflexes.
It is. So, yeah. It is. Every single turn he can just use that. So we'll see how this Ravager gets on.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a quick switch to the right, shall we? Let's see what's happening on the right. Lovely. So we can see. Well, it's hot. Yeah, the Ravager is just at the bottom right of your screen here. Let me just move that dice box. You can see it there. It's sitting pretty. You'll see the succubus with the witch, with a triptych witch. Try and see that. She's hiding in there, waiting to come out maybe in turn 3, like you said. Power up and go straight in there.
Just so you know, we've been keeping a explosion tally on the stream.
Oh, we have.
Because there's been a lot.
Yeah.
I say we. I haven't.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure someone else.
I was hoping you had been then. Okay, right.
Mikey's now counting out on his fingers. He's got his fingers out.
Okay.
Working out how many explosions we've
we just had another one? Is this way to?
had another one.
Okay.
It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, okay.
But it did happen.
Was it the Ravager?
If a Ravager explodes in the middle of nowhere, does it really explode?
Oh, chat, that is a deep question. Put your answers in the comments now, all right? Does it make a noise? Does it actually explode?
It definitely makes a noise.
Oh, okay. The screams of all the souls that it has taken in its time.
Yeah, I mean, before it got converted into a gunboat. Right,
yeah, that's true. I just want to say to Jamartin, who has come back saying, I'd love to have some dinner. Did I miss anything? Well, let's do a really quick 30-second recap. We are in turn 2. It's the bottom of turn 2 because Alex went second. It is Drukhari versus Death Guard. It is game 3 of the Goonhammer Open. And so far, it is pretty neck and neck, in my opinion. Again, the secondaries, which you've just seen on screen, quite weighted so far in the Drukhari's favour, but they've had an early head start. We all know that Death Guard come into their run with the longevity, their staying power. So we'll have to see. So yeah, still turn 2. Alex is again in the pretty much just in the shooting phase, I'm going to imagine now.
Yeah, we are in the shooting phase. We're basically going to see, I think, the pivotal moment in the game just coming in next turn.
Right. Okay.
Because equally, we're talking about the Foul Blight spawn.
Yeah.
If you just look underneath these crates on the southeast side of the crates, there's a little orangey yellow fella in the middle of 5 bigger bases.
And yes, we can just see them. Just see them here. Oh, the Archon. What, with like a Jin Blade?
Jin Blade and Ancient Evil. So fight last and then the Relic Weapon.
Yep.
Then, if you look inside this L, that's where the Succubus is.
Hello.
In there. She has precision cryptic whip.
Yep.
And then next to her, you have 10 more Incubi.
I'm just trying to test my drawing skills. So far, not very good. Anyway, so she has some Incubi here. You'll see them just here, guys. Beautiful,
solid,
right?
Pretty solid. So over on the other side, you have one of the units of Blightlord Terminators. I'm just going to see if we can find out from the table bosses where the second unit of Blightlord Terminators is, because that is a big deal for the lads.
Are they in Deep Strike? That is what I want to know. That is what I really want to know. Yeah, so Alex is taken to the last. Those are the squads of Blightlords and one big slot of Plague Marines. Okay,
so the Cabalite Warriors that came down from Deep Strike. So Blightlord Terminators, first of all, are in the sky.
Cool. That's good to know. Yeah.
Second of all, the Plague Burst Crawler really doesn't like that Cabalite Warrior who was doing research and development.
Oh no!
He's not a fan of progress.
Did he slug the Cabalite Warriors into the face?
Well, he's fired everything into the Cabalite Warrior, and it looks like the Cabalite Warrior has lived. Yes, in fact, I can see.
In fact, Mikey is now doing like like on a QVC like shopping show. Yeah.
Have you ever watched Gems TV?
Yes, Gems TV is where they do the hand movements to show stuff off. Mikey's just done that to show us where the reserves are. He could have done that in turn 1, but he decided to wait till the end of turn 2 to do that. So thank you, Mikey.
That's okay. We had enough to talk about in turn 1. We've got enough to talk about now.
Damn right.
Probably. I would assume.
We'll find something to talk about.
It is true. We will do that. Looks like we're taking some wound markers off of Venom. Most of that has gone straight
I did say that was
down.
going.
Plague Burst Crawler has decided he's had enough.
Is it entropy cannon it, do we know? Or was it mortar?
It looks like a mortar fire.
Straight over the top.
You're already minus... I mean, you're hitting on 5s at this point anyway.
You are,
it looks like it has taken off. You only need 2 wounds to go through. That's got 6 wounds. And you are flat damage free, I believe, on your top mortar weapon.
No, it's only 2 damage on the mortar.
Okay, it's a 3 head to go through.
Yeah.
That was pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Nice
it's only 2 damage,
Anyway.
It used to be D3, and then they took it down to 2. But then it got 3+ ballistic skill and 3+ weapon skill. So yeah, a bit of
Anyway, we fired the small arms fired directly into the Cabalite Warrior. That Cabalite Warrior got to live, but it doesn't really make too much of a difference. So the R&D's already been done in that corner anyway. Not a massive deal.
Funnily enough, there is a strat, you know, and I don't know which plague company it's attached to make the plague burst mortar damage 3, flat damage 3.
Yeah, I know there's some extra CP you can fire into that as well. So you can use mortar wounds to think around it, can't you?
Yes, well? yeah.
There's a lot of things you can do, and actually that frees up a lot of space on this top side, because while all the Drukhari is committed down this bottom section here, you have actually ended up with a situation where there's only one Ravager.
Can I just interrupt you? Big shout out to Max K. Super chatting a big £5 for us. Thank you so much. You're saying, come on, Glenn, you got this. Somebody at the stream table tell Glenn he's got a supporter in chat, willing him on with his Drukhari to win. Oh, thank you so much, Max. We massively appreciate that. And what I want to tell you, Max, is I don't know if you're aware of this, buddy. Okay. But because you're super chatted, we're doing this thing this weekend, all right? Super chatted, and you're doing this thing this weekend where if you super chat or become a member, every donation of £2 will enter you in a draw to win a £50 voucher for your friendly local gaming store, or you can spend it at GW, you can spend it at Ford. So, Max, it's 2 entries, mate. That's how it works. That's maths, right? So, I literally have an Excel spreadsheet open. So I am doing R&D as we play as we do this stream. But we'll see how your friend Glenn's doing back on the stream now, because it's Alex's turn. Bottom of turn 2. You were saying, sorry, before I interrupted you there, Tom.
I can't remember.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
It doesn't matter.
I've thrown you off.
I was just talking about how there's a little bit of space now top side there. Now, if you're the Drukhari player, and your player is...
Yes.
I actually think give up the top side.
Yep.
Because firstly, priority targets is down on the bottom side for you.
Yep.
Okay. Secondly, the Foul Blight spawn's already on the top side.
Yeah.
Thirdly, you already know there's a tougher last for your opponent on that side.
Yes.
So if I'm having to commit all my forces either to the top side or the bottom, I'm choosing the bottom on this occasion.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're going, if you go and test that. And this is so far on that far side.
Yep.
Like, you don't really have much of an option to get over to that. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to be
Yep.
Coming in, you're going to be shooting over top of that ruin in the top right-hand corner that we've got anyway, and you don't really have the opportunity to walk all the way over there. The closest thing you're going to have is these Death Shroud Terminators that came in on the top side that play Deep Strike, walking all the way there and then hoping they pass a charge one of these days.
Yep, there's 2 things on this. Like you said as well, priority targets is on the bottom 2 objectives, so that's where you should want to be messing. And if you're the Death Guard player, you want the roles to be reversed on this. You want to be the bottom player controlling the bottom 2 objectives. You don't want to be, like you said, fighting to have to walk for objective 2. You don't want that. If you're having open land in front of you as a Death Guard player, something's gone wrong, because you're not going to interact for the next turn or the next 2 turns, because you're going to have to walk somewhere. There's no other way to get there.
It
so
looks like we might have Alex measuring up a charge down here, though.
Right, okay.
I'm going to look at the Court of the Archon on the bottom hand side there. So that's got I can see the Ghoul.
That's the top side there. You'll see the Death Shroud. You see the Ravager.
Couple of Incubi gone down as well.
Oh, it does. Yeah, there's only 3 there. And that was a squad of 10, I believe. Oh, a squad of 5. That was a squad of 5,
so it's
right.
not as bad as it could have been.
For sure.
It's been a lot worse. So we're actually firing off Plague Marines on the bottom hand side down into the Court of the Archon.
Okay.
They're hitting on 2s with all their bolters.
Okay.
So you've got a lot of different profiles here. So the Urgul themselves are toughness 4.
Yeah.
And they have 3 wounds and a 5+ feel no pain.
Cool. Can I just check with the chat how the mic quality is doing now, please? Just a few people saying that the mic was cutting in and out. Oh, that's fine. It's cool. We're all fixed now. Carry on. Sorry, Tom. What were you saying?
Yeah. So the 6s also auto-wound and generate an extra shot. It's like playing this the Kurnos bow as Craft Worlds.
Oh, right,
it's incredible. So every time you roll a 6, that's an automatic wound, but it still remains to be a hit as well. Because it generates a hit and a wound.
Oh, okay.
So there's going to be a lot of shots pointed at this Court of the Archon here. That's a decent unit in melee. It's not the greatest, but it's okay-ish.
People in chat saying you're a little choppy. Do you want to just push the cable in, see if that helps a little bit more, maybe? We'll see, Tom.
Okay.
Do you want to just push the cable in? Just check the...
No, it's fine. It's just holding it sideways.
Oh, cool. There we go. There we go. Cool. Chat, just keep us updated. Keep us updated with the sound for us. That'd be amazing. Thank you.
Then, you know.
Oh, Pizza Profit coming through with the super chat. $5 $8. I'm assuming that means Australian dollars.
Yeah.
That's what the A stands for.
Wait.
Yes. What time? What time is it? What time is it? God, Pizza Profit, as always, thank you so much for that. We will add you to our draw to win that £50 of hobby vouchers to spend at Games Workshop or wherever you can in your country. So thank you so much.
I tell you what else time it is. What other time it is.
Oh, what other time is it?
It's time for charge phase.
Oh, I love a charge phase.
The Court of the Archon. There are 5 wounds and 4 past feel no pains.
Wow. Okay.
So, we've taken a win. The Poxwalkers are going into the free Incubi next to the Archon. Now, the Archon will make Poxwalkers fight last.
Are you bothered about Poxwalkers fighting last? I mean, it does cut down the amount of attacks.
The Incubi hit the Poxwalkers.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a thing that can happen.
Yeah, I guess that's a squad of 20 Poxwalkers, though, so I don't think the Incubi will chop through all of those. There's only 3 left, right? So what's that? Maybe like 15 attacks?
Not quite that many.
No, 12, something like that.
You're
Then.
going to use the Demiglaives on the main fellow, which I believe is 5 attacks, and then 3 each on the normal dude, I think.
So you may be looking at around maybe 11 or something like that. Yeah.
Like
cool.
That. Now, we are still also in turn 2. Means that we're not getting +1 to hit.
So they're hitting on 3s. Did they get? Where did the psychic spells go? Oh, sorry. Where did the psychic spells go this turn? Did they get Miasma off again, or was Miasma?
I did Miasma.
Yeah.
I would assume so.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if these Poxwalkers can just tie them up, because that would be a win. They're upset. Tie them up, hold that objective, try and shut down the Archon a bit longer because he's stuck at the moment, and just see, and you know.
Okay, so we were talking a little bit about the Death Guard's ability to pressure this top objective on objective 2. Yeah. Well, it's going to be a lot easier when you make a 9-inch charge out of Deep Strike to get that free movement for you.
Oh,
now, realistically, what I'd have been doing if I was playing these Death Shrouds was moving towards this top side.
Yeah.
And that way you could pile in and consolidate around the back of the Ravager.
So like
However, you're still getting a lot of movement there. That isn't the only charge that's come through either.
Okay.
The Lord of Virulence, the Lord of Contagion, is in on the Hellions as well. So those Hellions are going to absolutely go down.
Lord of Virulence right here, guys. He's gone to help out with these final 3 Hellions because they'll get to swing first into those Blight Lords. So the Lord of Virulence has gone, I'll try and clear them up first, boys, and then we can meander off together. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, 100%. So there's a lot of charges coming in from the Death Guard now. And then it's going to be a case of, do the Drukhari have enough to hit back next turn? We'll have to see.
Yeah, like I said, the Drukhari won't have a problem with objectives. However, currently they're losing a lot of their, what I would call it, aggressive units, the actual damage dealers.
Or they shouldn't have a problem with objectives.
They shouldn't. That's a very good way of putting it, yeah.
The transports have very much gone down quite well.
Yeah.
So, you've ended up with your Ravagers gone down on the top side. Now, I know it's a bit of a meme when it comes to holding objectives, but it is fast enough to get across the board.
Yep.
Your Venom has gone down on the top left-hand side as well. Your Raider on the bottom side has gone down as well, so it's very much a bunch of infantry units just wandering around on the battlefield. Right? And at that point, you're not much faster than the rest of the Dark Angels. The Death Guard.
The Death Guard, yeah.
Because right? You're just walking around on foot.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
have a couple of points of extra movement. That's about it.
I'm about to say, it looks like that's the combat that's happening right now, yeah.
We also had the Archon, Revenge Evil, and the Jim Blade has heroically intervened into the Poxwalkers, then made them fight last. So, going to bring against the Poxwalkers there, and as you can see here, the Hellions are going down.
Hellions had no chance, did they, against the Lord of Virulence like that, really? What, 3s to hit, 3s to wound, take them off the board, job done.
That's a useless award for them this game, I think.
Yeah,
because not only did they do nothing, they gobbled a lot of CP doing it.
If anything, they were a negative in this game.
They were.
It's me again saying, what's this game? I'm confused. You're watching Warhammer 40k. It's a competitive game between 2 factions, Death Guard and Drukhari. Yeah, so if you're interested in that sort of thing, Google Warhammer 40k. Enjoy watching us, and hopefully you'll be able to pick a bit up about competitive 40k. Watching 128 people take each other on across this entire weekend. So yeah, hopefully you're enjoying it. Let us know. So it looks like we're just totting some scores up here for the end of Alex's turn 2. Gonna move into Glenn's turn 3 very soon, guys. So far, still very much in the balance. I really like how Alex has approached the objective game on this. Glenn seems to have thrown away a few of his really good damage dealers. However, this is Drukhari. Drukhari have some really mean characters. Succubuses, Drazar. There's an Archon there as well. So we'll just have to see what happens. But the only thing that Alex has got against him is that some of his big units are out of position. So, like, again, those Death Shroud at the top, if they destroy that Ravager, amazing. But where did he go next? There's a Plagueburst Crawler and a Rhino that were a bit tied up on the objective.
I think.
Yeah.
Getting extra space. However, he's also got against him lightning fast reflexes.
Oh, not again.
We have got that again. That's got him a quarter of the Archon this time.
Oh, right, okay. So I believe those...
They're on the rim of Objective 4.
They're rimming the objective. Sorry, yes, I said that, chat. Enjoy. There.
Yeah, they did.
So that's Plague Marines. These are the choppy Plague Marines, guys.
And they're none to the last.
Yes, they're not there to the last. So he can afford to throw these away. So there's a Flail of Corruption in there. Yeah. There's a Great Plague Cleaver for that incredible D6 damage. There's a Demonic Plague Blade in there and stuff like that as well. So yeah, there's a nice mix of guns and stuff in there as well. So let's have a look at that action. Oh, I've got somebody's back, but you can just see there. Those are Court of the Archon right there.
Looks like we're taking a couple of Urgul, and we were talking about how durable these Urgul are for their points.
Yeah. Did you say they had a 4 up, a 5 up? Is that correct?
They have a toughness 4 and a 5 up, feel no
That's
pain.
It. Toughness 4, 5 up.
So
and how many points are they?
The Lemayan is... Oh, no, the Sliff's going to stay. The Lemayan is gone.
Right.
Because she's kind of useless.
Okay.
And 2 Urgul are gone.
Right, okay.
So, and the Sliff has taken a wound as well. So you've still got 2 Urgul on there. You haven't killed the entire unit, which is about right.
Yep.
The Urgul are very, very durable for their points. They are 16 points each. We need to go back to the top down so we can see that view there. That's fine. I'm just really waiting to see this next hit, because if the Archon and the Incubi can clear a good number of these Poxwalkers, it's going to give Glenn a lot of freedom to move around and try and get to the Blightlord Terminators that are just around the other side here, right? Now, that is contingent upon him rolling a big advance so he can get that advance and charge off.
Yeah.
So now, as you can see, the Death Guard are piling around this corner, which is going to make it a little bit easier for the next charge to come in. I don't know if this Raider on the bottom right is actually occupied. If it is,
I think
that's going to contribute to the hitting power quite nicely. And especially that Succubus, she is very, very good at removing these Death Guard heavily armored units.
Yes.
Because she has access to that mortal wound output on a triptych whip.
Yep.
This is the super steroid version of the Succubus. Because normally you go for 2 Succubuses, one with precision blows, Razor Flares and Dark Lotus Toxin, and then you go for another one which has the competitive edge of a triptych whip. Instead, you've just gone for the best of both worlds and made one Succubus to rule them all.
Yes.
So, we're ending up with the Incubi fighting now. So, they're fighting into Poxwalkers, but the Poxwalkers are made to fight last.
Yeah.
So, they're just going to be taking their swings into that unit now, seeing how many of these...
I'm about to say, these Poxwalkers, they're going to hope to take as fewer casualties as possible, just on the basis that they survive. There just needs to be enough Poxwalkers there to just wrap whatever's there still, hopefully maybe take out 1 or 2 Incubi, and just hold everyone in combat, because then that stops the movement of Glenn.
The wrapping doesn't really matter, because you've got no shooting.
Yeah.
What are you going to shoot Poxwalkers with? You've lost the Hellions. The Hellions are already gone. You're going to shoot them with the Ravager. The Ravager's in combat with the Death Shrouds at the top side anyway.
Yeah.
And then you've got the bottom side as well, but there's not too much. 6 Poxwalkers have already gone down to the Incubi. I remember we've still got the Archon in there, but it still has to swing.
Yeah.
We've got more coming in there. I don't believe they take morale, though, do they?
No, they don't. They are completely they're mindless zombies, I believe the rule is, which means no morale at any point, which is, again, a bonus, because guess what? They're OBSEC. They're on that objective as well, so they're going to hold that objective.
Oh, yes, they're on the central objective. I keep losing it under the crate. It looks like it's meant to be on a plate or something.
No, I agree with you,
It works quite well, yeah.
But that also means that will deny, even if a few Poxwalkers are left, that will deny extra primary for Glenn. Yeah. So we'll have to see how that goes.
I really hope that wasn't an Archon hit roll, because that was 4 dice and 3 ones.
Oh, well, there's only 2 Poxwalkers picked up there. Nope, no, there's a few more than 2.
Slightly more sizable chunk. That's done all right. It's not done too badly at all.
Gwatkin saying it needs more Mortarion. Unfortunately,
he is a big Mortarion fan, is that Gwatkin?
I have not seen a single Mortarion here this weekend.
That's a shame.
That is a big shame. Morty's a legend, but I'm not sure he's currently making it in the list, is he? He's not really doing the business for his points.
Benefit from Armor Contempt?
I would imagine so. He's gonna have the He's gonna have the He's gonna have the Bubonic Astartes keyword. Yeah. I would imagine so. Yeah. Interesting. One for chat. Gwatkin, if you're a Mortarion fan, let us know. Because that would mean his 3 up is a little more. Yeah, we'll take all the bonuses and buffs we can get. So yeah, just look like we're totting up. Oh no, it looks like we're fighting now with the Poxwalkers that have. So they were shut down, remember, because they had to fight last. So the Incubi and the Archon got to swing first. So it looks like maybe there's about 9 or 10 there that get to swing. All with 2 attacks each, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, 4s.
However, they do have a stratagem.
Oh, okay.
For 1 CP allows you 6s to hit, 2 mortal wounds.
Ooh,
and
nice.
That stratagem has been played.
Nice. So fishing for the 6s, yeah?
It is fishing for the 6s.
How many have gone through there? 2? Maybe? Are those 6s
there? Yeah, it looks like there's 2 more wounds in there.
Yeah.
And then those are all hits as well, so you still get to roll 2 wounds as well.
Yes.
In addition. It'd be good to know if they're trying to target the Incubi or the Archon here, though, because obviously the Archon does have a shadow field.
Yes. If he could manage to get him to fail the shadow field, though, on a Poxwalker, that would be big, right? That would be a really good bonus.
I hope he's not taking it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to. He's waiting for the bigger damage weapons.
Interesting. So it looks like 3 there. 3 wounds.
Yeah, not bad at all. Armor is just about to come in now, so it looks like we're going after the Incubi.
Yeah, they're on the Incubi.
So the Incubi have all died, but it's 2 mortal wounds and 2 failed saves.
Oh, amazing!
They only have 1 wound each.
Yeah, of course.
Despite being beefy, they only have 1 wound each, and that is also going to mean the Archon is wrapped. Now,
that's it.
The impact here is that Archon is not going to be able to get anywhere else now.
No.
Not going to be able to get into any of the other units.
It's not wrapped. Okay, it's not
so the
wrapped.
Archon isn't wrapped, but he's still in combat. So
okay.
You'd have to spend the CP to fall out and then charge.
Yeah.
Or to generate the ability to make someone else fight last. And more Poxwalkers have grown back.
Of course, because as soon as you kill 4 models, guess what? You get them back.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Easy. That works out quite well. But it's also going to mean that it's going to be one of those situations where you have to be so careful about where you charge and where you activate first, because there's always that potential for Alex and his whopping 9 CP to interrupt onto you. So you're going to have to be very careful about where you go first and make sure you deal as much damage as possible, or only hit with 1 unit at a time.
Yeah.
I don't think Drukhari want to do that in this specific instance.
Yeah.
However, you need to hit now. You need to hit now.
Now you're a Drukhari fan. Do you think Drukhari depend on their CP to make their so they don't? So you're not concerned about Glenn's 1 CP right now?
Not massively.
No. Do you think that's just now lightning fast reactions now?
We've seen him use lightning fast reflexes.
Yep.
Fine.
Yeah.
We've seen him use what's a fire and fade equivalent that they have? There's not really that much. We're just going to go back to do the Death Shroud Terminators because I've forgotten to fight that one.
Oh, right,
okay, do that now. See if we can pick up this Ravager, and then we'll go into that crucial Drukhari 3rd turn. How do you think this is going so far?
So I wanted the Death Guard to win at the start. I think if I was a Death Guard player right now, taking away the VP situation, I would go, turn 2, I'm happy. However, Glenn's next turn 3 is make or break. You've said it and I agreed totally. Yeah. You have to go whole hog, and you have to try and pick up some of those to the last options and some characters if you can, or at least make them available for the Succubus to go and deal with them, or Drazar, or whatever it might be. Because after that, the Death Guard will be upon you, and if they start getting stuck into combat with you, you're going to find it really hard to work around them and play around them. So you've got to go on to them on your terms first, haven't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. And now we can actually see that Alex really wants his Ravager dead because he spent a CP to make his Death Shrouds +1 to hit.
Yes.
So they're now hitting that Ravager on 2.
Yeah.
See if you can get through that and then set up for a turn 3 charge onto that number 2 objective. And even if you can't make that, just walking up, I mean, you have to put yourself in a great position to get it in the next turn, because you can't really commit to removing those Death Shroud Terminators from that building.
Yes.
After they've gone in. Well, the moment they go through that wall, they are safe as houses.
Oh, yeah,
they are not going to get removed anytime soon, and that is going to be their objective until the end of the game, I believe.
So, where are we? Are we rolling these are the Death Shroud rolls right now? Just trying to work out what's happened here.
Yep, so that was a champion who's just 4.
Right.
And did 8 damage to the Ravager, so there should be 3 wounds left on the Ravager, because they start with 11 wounds, so 1 more from the Raiders. And then you've got the actual guys in the squad as well to fight.
So is that the buffed up Man Reaper that the champion took there, was it?
I assume so.
Yeah.
I don't know the weapons too well on the Death Guard. Yeah. I mainly know Drukhari.
But there is a buffed up Man Reaper that the champions can take, and they think like they're flat 3 damage. I think they're very nasty.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds pretty solid.
So is it survived? Has that Ravager just survived on 1 wound? It looks like it. Maybe.
That Ravager is going to live on 2 wounds.
Oh, 2 wounds! 2 wounds!
Oh, dear.
Mr. Urban Cannibal saying, currently Nottingham, about 5 miles away from Warhammer World. We're in Nottingham. Painting Hellions, what are the odds? Well, all we're going to say is, Hellions are beautiful. We hope you enjoy painting them, but don't play them against Death Guard, because you'll have a very bad time and you'll end up losing them. They don't seem to be they didn't do the business on this game, so
I don't think this combat at the top stage is the end of the world.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, the Ravager turned around, did a wound, that was saved, that was fine.
Yeah.
But now the Ravager has a choice: either stay in combat with the Death Guard, in which case you get an extra chance to pile in Consolidate.
Yep.
Or the Ravager falls out, and then you can get a shot at, but you're still free.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, well, what am I going to get a shot at by?
Yep.
There's a Raider on the bottom side. There's a Ravager there. But obviously it's falling out, so I'm not entirely sure if there's a stratagem that allows you to do that. But even then, I don't know if it's worth even paying the CP to have your 2-wound Ravager shoot at those 3 fellas as it falls away.
Yeah, I'm not sure it might be a waste, especially when you've only got 1 left, so you'd literally be burning your CP next turn.
You've got what you want. You've got the 9-inch movement. I think there could have been more movement gained by moving around the back of that Ravager. But you've got the 9 inches. It's not the end of the world. Which
is the fastest that Death Shroud will move, literally, you know what I mean? You've got to get a charge, and you've got to hope for that extra distance, haven't you? So.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think we also need to see this unit on the top right-hand corner on the objectives move towards the far end of the objectives as well, just to make it a little bit harder for Death Shroud to try and get into that combat.
Yep.
I think that's mandatory. And then I want to see all of the Drukhari go absolutely wild.
Yeah. They need to charge in and sort of throw caution to the wind and just see what happens in turn 3. Yeah.
You need to take a risk. And we saw Mike take a risk last game.
We did.
And it worked. And he won.
Yeah, and he was close, but this game is probably going to be close.
What he needed. Yep. And he went for it, and he got it. And fair play.
If you were to bank, so let's have a quick flick to Glenn's secondaries. If you were to bank on Assassin, right, I think Nightmund will max 12, yeah? Heard the Prey, you could again maybe say a 12 on that, depending on where we get to.
In fact, will they max Nightmund? Is there anything left in reserve for the Drukhari here?
Alex is here. Alex is here.
Thank you, Alex.
I'll steal one. I'm not going to be shy. Thank you very much. I'm just here for sweets. Thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot.
In fact, Alex, Alex, is there anything left in reserve for the Drukhari?
There is a one in
One for the Cavalites. You've got the one squad there.
You've got a squad of Terminators. Thank you, Alex.
So there's nothing left in reserve for the Drukhari there.
Yeah.
Which makes me look at this and think, I don't know how you max Nightmund.
Yes, because
I'm right. Yeah. Achievable.
Yeah, which there's one of the corners that need to be done, so you're right.
Although,
is there anything
it means
else?
that you're not committing a unit. Top left. Oh no. Top left.
What could go for top left?
Hard. Exactly.
What could go there?
Well, the answer is a unit of 10 incubi.
Ooh, you would not waste them on a Nightmund data, would you? Unless you absolutely had to do it to win.
Well, the Succubus has already gone north. So it looks like Glenn is going to handshake this opportunity to fight on multiple fronts.
Okay.
Which, in theory, Drukhari versus Death Guard sounds okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It does sound okay. You want to be fighting on multiple fronts just to avoid the Foul Blightspawn, but Foul Blightspawn hasn't been in the combat anywhere the entire game. So, he might even be going for a bigger risk here and going for more unit, and splitting his focus.
Yeah.
Which makes it less likely that he's going to succeed on the bottom side.
Yeah.
But if he succeeds on both, got a big swing there.
Yeah.
So
well, let's not kid ourselves, right? Death Shroud are mean, but all there is up there is 3 Death Shroud for that Succubus and for those Incubi, yeah? You would send those Incubi south and to chop through either the Poxwalkers, or you'd send them to deal with the Plague Marines on Objective 4. That is where you worry. That's where you need to be defending your lines, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or at least holding your Incubi back to deal with those extra Blight Lords that come in, whatever it might be. I'm not sure dealing with 3 Death Shroud is the thing to do, because they're not there to the last.
Well, I mean, Glenn did pick up his 8 primary this turn by holding 2 objectives.
Yeah.
So he is getting there, and then he should pick up another 3 on that bottom side for his priority targets.
Yes, yeah.
That'll put him up to 29 with 2 turns remaining.
Yeah.
So he needs 6 more points.
Yes.
Which
should be possible, yeah.
Should be
what I would like to see this turn from
Especially
Glenn,
if he's clearing out the top side.
Yeah. But again, there's no characters there. So what I'd like to see from Glenn is I think a character or 2 needs to be popped really soon. Otherwise, that assassination gets harder and harder, because next turn, Glenn's going to lose some of his big assets. He's probably going to lose some of his characters. The Archon's looking vulnerable. That Succubus might be vulnerable. So we'll just have to see what happens, yeah?
Absolutely. Although, that said, it's not the most vulnerable. If you get that Succubus in there, you can pile around the back of the Death Shrouds, get within 3 inches of that Ravager. And then even though the Ravager isn't closer to the enemy unit targeting you, you'll have other units that are closer. You have 2 criteria you need to meet. You need to have a unit within 3 inches, specifically a unit of 3 or more models, or a vehicle or a monster. And then you need to not be the closest enemy unit.
Yeah.
Which, so long as you meet those criteria, she should be okay. Now, clearing up these Death Shroud Terminators does solve an issue. It means that you're going to be able to consistently max out primary. So that means 2 more turns of Objective 2, which is going to be another 8 points. That's going to get you up to 34. Then you're going to get 3 more points on your priority targets on the bottom side, so that's going to put you on 37. So you can basically guarantee yourself 37 primary points just by doing this.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So long as you don't horrifically fail these charges on the top side. The question is, though, how are your secondaries going to do?
Yeah, that's where this game's going to be won or lost, let's be honest. Yeah,
and this is the thing. You're safeguarding your primaries, but that won't do you any good if you need more points. You need more than that, right? So you're basically taking the 60% chance to lose the game by a little over 20% chance to win the game.
Yes, for sure.
Right? This is a defensive play. If this was a team thing, maybe it's a play that you take. But in singles, I'm a little bit skeptical. We'll have to see how this works out, though.
Yeah, I want chat to say on this, Tom. So I banged a little poll in chat, guys. All right, this game very much. This is the midpoint. So you need to nail your colours to the mast now. Who is going to win?
This is the crucial thing, and this is why it's so important to just take that time away from the table.
Yeah.
Just okay, my turn. I know this turn is going to be crucial. I'm going to take a step away because people worry about how much time they're taking.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Most time isn't taken moving your models or rolling your dice.
Yeah.
It's taken making decisions, right? So when you're doing that, instead of just thinking about a bit here, thinking about a bit there, take a bit of time to start of round. Work out your entire turn plan, and then execute it. And that way, you're not having to go over the same old ground as you work out what exactly you want to do.
So yeah, we're just, again, Drukhari turn 3 now. If you are Glenn, you're trying to weigh up your options. What do I want to pick on this turn? What can I afford to lose from my army? And what am I holding in reserve for turn 4? Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. And it's also about what is your win condition. How am I going to win this game? And if it is coming down to secondaries like we suspect it is, he needs to play for that. He needs to play for that.
So I think they're just discussing right now whether that Raider is able to shoot the Lord of Virulence or if it's protected by those Blight Lords.
Now, I have to say, you know how at the start of the game, we very much thought there was going to be a lovely mosh pit down the bottom side.
Yes. Yeah, we hoped there was going to be a mosh pit.
Take a look at this absolute beauty of a mosh pit down this bottom.
Oh boy, that's a colourful mosh pit.
It is a colourful mosh pit. There's a lot of zombies.
Yeah.
Big Terminators.
Urgles.
Lots of rats.
Plague Marines.
And as the table boss is telling us, not too much shooting going on in this game. It's just going to be a bunch of dudes. Did you ever play the original medieval Total War?
I didn't know.
Did you ever play the original Shogun Total War?
No, I didn't know.
When I was a kid, I would play those games. Yeah. And I'd take my army and I'd throw it in and hope my army was better at hitting things than the other army. And this is what we have. Good.
So everyone's just hoping that they are smellier or more deadly with their poison than the other person. Yes. That's what it is. We're having a poison off. That's the thing. So let's have a look.
Entirely, who is going to win a big headbutting contest?
Oh, there we go. So you can see
those slapping contests on the internet.
Oh yeah, where people get knocked out. It's mental.
That's what it feels like. And we have actually also achieved a rod in the bottom right-hand corner as well. Oh. That's going to put Glenn up to 8 points on his rod.
Right.
And I think that might be it for the game.
Yeah, because he's done 3 corners now.
Unless something weird happens.
Yeah, because he has to do that top left. Yeah. So there's definitely no Kabalites left for him. He had 2 squads of 5 Kabalites, but I can assume one's back in his own home corner there, and that must be what's happened there.
Yeah, 100%.
He didn't put 2 in there.
The only other way that he could potentially do it is get this charge in front of these Death Shrouds, kill them, run all the Inquisition across the board for a couple of turns.
Yep.
And then get the rod off in that corner.
Yes.
Without being
so it looks like an objective 4 you'll see now, guys. Draz. And it also looks like, is that the Archon or a Homunculus?
The Archon's still stuck in combat, I believe.
So what other character is that there?
So Homunculus.
It is a Homunculus. Yeah, okay, so it's the Homunculus, it's Draz, there's some Racks.
Mincubi.
Also into the Plague Marines there. Those Plague Marines, they need to pull their weight now. They need to stand up, don't they? They need to fight back. So we'll see what happens there. Looks like we're rolling some dice out. Table bosses let us know what's currently being fought over. That'd be amazing.
Yep.
Looks like some exploded hits there, adding some extra dice into it.
I'm really curious to see if the topside charges made it, because that's a big deal.
Well, Alex has got some dice here, so I don't think those top charges made it.
Neither of the top charges made it. We'll have to double check with the table bosses.
Oh, that's Alex rolling dice right now, and I imagine...
also got the Cabalite on the bottom left, which I don't think he forgot to... It's one of those. I mean, he could have charged the Cabalite in there, but then it's about Overwatch and what have you. Oh, okay. So, actually, we are charging the Incubi into the top section now.
Right, okay.
But there's an Overwatch going on.
Oh, Plague Spurt Gauntlets. Nice.
Yeah, what do Plague Spurt Gauntlets do there, Tom?
They do 2d6 auto hits, is that correct?
Flamers.
Yeah, Flamers, yeah. So they have two, I'm assuming they're equipped with 2 each, so 2d6. So only strength 3, only 1 damage, but Incubi are only toughness 3, and they're only 1 wound, so this could go well.
Okay, so the Clayvex has 1 wound remaining.
Ooh, because, Clayvex has 2.
And 5 Incubi dice.
Oh my god.
I feel like that's a situation where you could have charged in the Succubus first.
Yep.
And made her ignore Overwatch.
Yes.
And then, when she gets into combat, then you charge the Incubi in. Because now, they can't be Overwatched at because the Death Shroud Terminators are in combat.
Yes.
So that's a way that Glenn could have got around it.
Yep.
But it looks like he's not been able to do that in this specific instance.
So it looks like they've also... So it looks like they've made the charge.
In addition, you talk about the strength 3.
Yeah.
The Incubi were toughness 2.
Contagion range.
Contagion
Wow,
now,
okay.
What that does do is, because that CPU is used to spend it to Overwatch over there, can't Overwatch anywhere else.
Yes.
You could charge this little Cabalite Warrior in the bottom left-hand corner into that Plague Burst Crawler just to tag it up and then hope that you don't die in combat.
Yeah.
If you do die in combat, well, it's no loss.
It's not the end of the world. You're not doing anything else, are you?
Right? That's the only thing you could have done. But I'll have to see if Glenn goes for that play. Yeah, that's a trick that you can do with the Overwatch. You just charge something in that can't be Overwatched at, and then charge everything else in afterwards just so you can get around the Overwatch.
Yeah.
Right.
But like you said, now Overwatch has also been spent, that Plague Burst Crawler has no defense against that one Cabalite Warrior, which would then shut it down for a turn. We are fighting.
Like he's not gone for that play.
Okay.
The Archon has gone directly into the Poxwalkers in the center as well. So we basically have a lot of charges and a lot of dice being rolled at lots of different units in this case.
So I'm assuming we're dealing with Objective 4 right now, which is the absolute mosh pit. If one of the table bosses gives us a nod, is these all the attacks going into Objective 4? Looks like we're just discussing some dice rolls.
The first activation is going to be the Squishy Succubus.
Right, okay.
And she's going directly into the Death Shroud. Because obviously you don't want those Death Shroud interrupting and killing your Succubus off. And you might just, a word from the table boss.
So we're just trying to work out here.
So, because of -1 damage, that's kept the Death Shrouds alive.
All of them?
1 has died, and 1 is down to 1 wound.
Okay, that's all right.
So now, because she's got Show Stealer, which is the upgraded Master Succubus, you can fall out in any direction she wants, and she can do it at 6 inches. So what she's done is she's jumped out.
She's done a hit and run. Literal definition, right?
She has done a hit and run. And now she is just hiding behind that little bit of wall. Now, equally, we're talking about Rod in this top section with Incubi. Firstly, I have a suspicion that some of them might get carved up before that even gets to happen, because you're down to damage 1. Secondly, I don't think it even matters, because if you're looking at that Rhino in the top left, what's still in that Rhino, Tom?
There are Plague Marines in that Rhino. And there is also Mr. Turn Off Fight First is in there as well, I still believe. So
yeah, 100%. So I think Retrieve Nakman data is probably done for Glenn now. Yeah. Right? I also think that Herd the Prey
is going to be tough.
It's going to be a little tricky in that bottom section.
Yep.
It might be achievable in that top section, depending upon whether or not Alex goes for that interrupt. If I was Alex, I'd probably go for the interrupt, and you can see him bending over and tapping the interrupt. So he spent 2 CP. But he spent it for Haze of Corruption.
Right, okay.
And that means that excess damage spills over, like it would in Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Specifically with his Death Shroud Terminators. And I assume that would also mean that he's going to be interrupting here as well. So I'll have to check with that for my bosses that they're interrupting. Yeah, they are. So that's 2 CP spent on the interrupt as well.
That's really crucial, because if he gets rid of those Incubi, those Death Shroud again get another turn, because guess what? It's going into Death Guard turn next. They could maybe consider dealing with that Succubus.
Well, you don't even have to go with Succubus. Look at the objective 2. You've still got this squad of 5 rags in the center of that objective. That's a juicy target there as well. Or you could just go for the safe play, go for that Ravager, kill it, move onto the terrain, get yourself that 1+ save in cover. Obviously, the shooting doesn't really matter at this point, but it forces Glenn to spend another turn digging out these idiots, spending their time walking around this ruin.
And as we've discovered, very tough, really tough to deal with.
Without
2 up,
the right tools.
4 up, 3 wounds, -1 damage, +1 save. It's horrible stuff, right? Really
so
is.
The champion's already done 4 damage, and because that's spilled over, that's killed 4. And you just remove the squad.
Yeah. There we go. And now
Alex is
considering
towards the Ravager. Okay, don't.
So he's not going to touch it.
There you go. Okay, fine. So now he just needs to move 5 inches around that, and he's got a good buffet of charges.
Oh
going
god,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And again, they're also giving off. The contagion, which will be going into turn 3, which will be 6 inches, 9 inches, something like that.
9 inches now, right?
Yeah.
I think it's 3, 6, 12, 9.
3, 6,
9,
12
even.
Yeah. But the point is, everything there -1 toughness. The what's the Poxmonger's specific one? We'll find that out as well. So it'll be affected by that as well.
Well, also, mate, we've done the top side now. The top side has resolved itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Dash, I've got away with it. Kill all the incubi.
Yep.
With a combination of shooting from Overwatch and melee. And they're away. So now we're moving to the other side of the board, where the incubi are fighting into the Plague Marines.
Oh, nice. So this is at the bottom. This is on objective 4. This is right down here. So you see, guys, there is a monster mash down here. So these here are the Plague Marines. These guys here are the incubi. You'll see the characters here. So that's the homunculus. That's Draz there. You got some Urgles that appear to be left here, and we're going with the incubi
first. I think the
first.
Urgle are actually in the center now, because I can see there's a little bit of a Sliff's booty.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's very true. Yeah, they've got out of dodge. They've got to play with some maybe some Poxwalkers.
Away, a certain way. So yeah.
Contagion is 1, 3, 6, and 9. Thank you, Geek Abardon.
Now, if this is a big win down here, this could be big for Drukhari.
Yeah.
Because then you have a lot of freedom and come after these characters that are in the center. So as you can see on the bottom of objective 3, there's a character down there. I believe that must be the Plaguecaster.
Yep.
If you go out to the top of 3, there you have
Lord of Virulence.
The Lord of Virulence. That's worth 3 points as well. If you then go above that, you've got a weakened Blight Lord unit.
Yep.
That's worth 5 points.
To the
so
last.
If you get through this shield, get to all this juicy gubbins. Yep. But if you can't and you bounce off it, then you've got a.
If you're Alex, do you just play them a little bit more cagey? Because you're a bit like, you have to see how you get on this objective 4 right now. Because if you absolutely crumble on objective 4, you are gonna have to put some stuff into it.
Yes.
But he still has Blight Lords in reserve. Again, the Ares to the last, but they're in reserve, ready to go.
Yep.
So you just, I think you have to see how the
5 more Blight Lords.
Yeah, you have to see how the land lies. Oh, that's a lot of Plague Rings.
There's 2 Plague Rings left.
Okay, so that. You now have to see how the land lies at the end of this turn to go, right, how much do I now have to commit myself to deleting stuff? So
Absolutely.
We'll see. There is a gap opened up behind, though, for deep strikes. You'll see that there's a raider. There's a gap there on the right.
I wonder if we can get a shot of that combat, actually, to see if we can have a proper look at what's going on.
There we go.
There.
So you'll see
there's the 2 Plague Marines. Yeah. Now, that is a Plague Marines that have pretty much gone down.
Yeah.
They've taken a battering.
I'm seeing 3 Plague Marines stood up. I love the little squat Plague Marine. Can you see it? That's cool.
Pretty cool. That's like a tactical Marine.
Yeah, it literally looks like it, doesn't it? So
yeah, we take that. So that is those 2 gone down. Those 2 sticking around. Even everyone else has gone down.
Yep.
So now it's going to be about how can the Drukhari respond. Drishar's gone for his swings.
Right.
He's only got 1 wound through, but he's killed that Plague Marine.
Okay.
He can do flat damage.
Yeah. So we have 2 Plague Marines left looking at this. We have 1 hiding behind the homunculus here.
Yeah, I could see him.
Yeah, and we have this guy here who's the squat guy.
The squat fella.
The squat that's been infected by Nurgle.
Yeah, and now we're going to start moving to the center of the board as well. We've got the combat on the top side, we've got combat on the bottom side, and now we've got the combat in the center with the Archon, the Cult of the Archon, and the Poxwalkers. So this is going to be important for trying to remove some space in the center of the board to try and move up towards the juicy targets for the Death Guard. The Death Guard are getting very low in terms of their actual model count.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, Dreshar has gone again because he fights twice.
Yep.
And he's done another one in, I believe. So it's not been a very good combat phase for Dreshar, apart from the moral support that he provided for the Incubi.
Absolutely.
That is all the Plague Marines
gone.
Kaput now.
Yeah. You would hope that Draz would have cleared them up, to be fair.
Cleared. Yeah. He should do.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't matter that he rolled badly. He killed exactly what he needed to.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, Drazhar is never inefficient, Bilbo Baggins.
No.
He kills exactly
looks like we're fighting in the middle now, maybe? Is that correct?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have to go to the central objective section. So, obviously, the Archon makes the Poxwalkers fight last.
Yep.
Then you've got the Court of the Archon. So, the Urgul actually have a surprising number of attacks for a 16-point model.
Wow,
it just looks like a bloke T-posing. I don't know what that is.
Have you got an Urgul yourself?
I've got Urgul myself.
Yeah.
I've got quite a few Urgul.
Oh, okay.
And as you can see, a lot of Poxwalkers being picked up.
So they seem perfect for dealing with Poxwalkers, because again, they only have a 5-up save.
Yeah. So 6 Poxwalkers went down.
Yeah.
And also, because you've got so many wounds on these models, it's going to be very difficult for these Poxwalkers to actually swing back, kill enough models to bring some guys back.
Yeah.
right? Because you're not going to have the. I don't want to say ammunition. But you're not going to have the fuel.
Yeah, you're not going to have the weight of dice to bring yourself back. Yeah, literally. 100%.
So. Of all the dead models to turn into poxwalkers.
Yeah, mindless zombies reawaken.
Yeah,
literally.
Here's a sliff. Enjoy. Yeah. So yeah, that looks like a lot of damage going down there. A lot of space being made by the Drukhari, but we still have that Death Guard turn to refill that space, or just kill whatever just removed it.
Yeah.
So, and now this top side is a big problem.
Yeah.
That is a big problem. Okay.
So yeah, the
Archon couldn't fight because enough Poxwalkers got pulled out that the Archon was not within 1 inch.
Engagement range,
yeah. Nowhere to activate, which means those Poxwalkers are still going to be there being a menace for a little while yet.
And I'm assuming holding that objective still. OBSEC?
Are they OBSEC?
I believe, yeah, Boxwalkers are troops, aren't they? So they're OBSEC.
I thought they had some special rules so they couldn't do certain things.
I think they can't do actions. That's what it is. But I think they're still OBSEC.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's just actions they can't do.
That's very irritating.
Yeah. Unless it's spread the sickness. They can spread the sickness, but
they can spread the sickness. In fact, we haven't really seen much spreading of sickness going on. We didn't see any last turn.
No.
We might see some, but that's okay because I don't think that Alex ever thought he was going to be able to spread the sickness to all the objectives.
Yeah.
And that big hit on the bottom side, very good for Glenn. It's given him a lot of space.
Yeah.
There's a problem up on the top side that could have been solved by the Succubus going in first, but regardless, this is the situation we're in now, and Glenn needs to deal with.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's a case of can Glenn get around that bottom side and start picking up those points and denying those to the last points. Now, we said there wasn't very much ammunition or fuel to bring up more Poxwalkers.
Yeah.
But Dead Walk again has been played.
Okay. So that is basically you reanimate every single model on a dice roll of is it a 5+ or something like that?
Probably. I will take your word for it. We will have to find out.
There's a lot of dice about to be rolled.
Alex looks very pleased with himself with this one. He's having a bit of a giggle. He hasn't even rolled it yet. But he's very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
It is incredible how he enjoys playing Death Guard.
Yeah, for sure. Trying to work out what is can somebody just explain, ask for the exact details on the Dead Walk Again stratagem for us?
I can get it.
Yeah, we'll find it out. Or some of the absolute Death Guard legends in chat will help us out.
7 Poxwalkers.
That's it.
4 came back.
Roll 7 dice and they get back up on a 3+ from memory is what Gwatkin's saying. So,
guys, not bad at all.
If you're looking for the list, I think I've seen a few people post it. We don't have a notification set up, but the reason is because it's on BCP. So download Best Coast Pairings app. You'll be able to see the Goonhammer Open in the UK, in Nottingham. Find it, and you'll be able to see all these, the list from all 128 players there. You'll be able to check them out. Again, this is a really nice Death Guard list, again, against a Drukhari list. Both of these, I would argue, are not top-level meta lists right now. But I tell you what, they're both holding their own.
They're not Eldari, so
no, they're not Nids or Eldari, exactly. But they're both holding their own. And if you're interested in those lists, Best Coast Pairings, I'm sure me and Tom will run over the highlights of the list in the next sort of hour or so while this game's playing through.
I mean, importantly, we were talking a little bit earlier about the Plague Marines.
Yep.
They are coming.
Oh my God,
they're
out.
Left the sanctity
of a rhino.
Of the brick. And they are on the way. I could also see Alex make a little bit of a measurement up towards Succubus as well.
Yep.
So it looks like despite that show stealer to get away, he might be.
She's running to the jaws of some Plague Marines. That's what happens.
She is. So this is to the last unit.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So if Glenn gets the opportunity to interrupt, that could be dirty.
That would be horrible.
Yeah.
However, if you were Alex right now, you'd be thinking, if I'm going to engage in another combat in this, if I'm going to charge again, I have to be wary of that interrupt. However, how many CP does Glenn have? That could be really interesting. So Glenn can't interrupt.
There's no command points left at all.
So that means no issues at all on the charge. Charge whoever you want. I'll fight first.
Yep.
Plague Marines, even with bolters, are surprisingly mean in combat.
Yeah.
Really, really horrible. So, again, that -1 toughness will take the Succubus down to toughness 2.
Yep.
Wounding on 2s then, because they're strength 4.
Yep.
With Plague Knives, there's stratagems to give themselves extra attacks, like things like trench fighters and stuff like that. So we'll have to see. But that Succubus could be in a whole world of pain.
Yeah. It could be a lot.
So it looks like Alex as well, bringing those remaining Blight Lord Terminators out. There's 4 there. Lord of Virulence just tucking up behind.
It looks like this is the Death Guard push section.
Right, so turn 3's now when the Death Guard are going to have to push, yeah?
So was that the spread the sickness on which objective, sorry, there, Tibble was? Okay, so top left objective has been spread the sickness.
Spread the sickness.
The The foul Blightspawn.
Yep.
Is very claustrophobic.
Oh, is he not wanting to come out? Or he does want to come out?
When all of those, he got stuck in.
Oh, right, okay.
Rhino. He was just driving around by himself. All these guys piled in like a clown car. And now they've got out. He's piled out, and he's been sick on that objective.
Oh, he took some mortal wounds himself, has he?
He has taken some mortal wounds himself.
But he only has 4 wounds. So how many mortal wounds did he take? Did he only take 1?
I don't think it's particularly relevant. I don't think it matters too much.
It is, because the only thing I would say is that he's technically an assassinate, so you can get, if you could...
He is, but if you look at where he is on the board...
Yeah, he's protected by a Plague Burst Crawler.
How do I get the pen?
There you go.
If you look at what's in front of him, you've got the Plague Marines here.
Yeah.
You've got the Death Shrouds here. Although Blight Lords here.
Blight Lords there, yeah.
And then you've got another squad of Blight Lords coming in from the sky.
Yep.
Okay? You then have to look at, well, how exactly could Glenn get at these characters?
Yep.
You've got this Raider. Not going to be able to target him.
Yep.
Not a chance. No way. Okay, how can I get to it in melee? Well, the Succubus is about to go down. The Archon and the
Urgles, yep.
They are still there.
Yeah, yeah.
But
they're severely diminished.
They've got a problem, and that is specifically the Blight Lord Terminators coming down on them. Yep. Right? And secondly, even if they can deal with the Blight Lord Terminators, we need to prioritize that over the Foul Blightspawn on the other side of the board. Firstly, because the Foul Blightspawn's really far away.
Yep.
Secondly, the fact the Blight Lord Terminators are worth more points.
Oh, yeah, for sure,
because they are 5 points to the last, taking 5 points off of Alex's total, whereas in the top left, that's only 3 points for your assassinate. It's 2 points fewer. It's not worth it as much. You're not going to be going up there. And then you end up with all these dudes down the bottom right. The Incubi, the Rax, the Drazhar, all that kind of stuff, right? Again, you're miles away. Again, you've got better priority targets, such as the Malignant Plaguecaster, such as the Lord of Virulence, such as the... is that Shift 2, sorry?
Shift 4, sorry.
Okay, you got it, thank you.
We got.
Such as the Blight Lord Terminators again.
Yep.
But even without that, next turn is turn 4 for Glenn.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
He's not getting all the way over there. So that wound is not going to matter anything for Alex.
Yep. And like you said, as you can see here, Alex, movement phase must be done, trying to get those Blight Lords in.
I
Looks
love these
like...
chopsticks.
Oh, great shout. It's a great shout, isn't it? I love it. Multitasking. These are
Alex
also deep strike markers.
Long chopsticks.
Yeah. And also great for your tea tonight. You can multitask with them, yeah?
Oh, no. Don't tell me you found a gap there.
He found a gap. Looks like it. 9-inch gap.
Oh, no.
And that means those have options now.
So, those of you who are listening along, or painting,
if you're painting or chilling,
around your gaming room, I empathise, firstly, with your struggle to watch and paint.
Yeah.
And secondly, there is a nice juicy gap in the back line of the Drukhari army, where the Blight Lord Terminators have dropped down and are continuing to threaten Objective 2.
Yep. Which is really important, because that is now another threat. Even though it's to the last, it's another threat that Glenn is going to have to consider dealing with.
Yep.
And it's just another big brick of stuff that's just going to be so hard to move, delete.
100%. Now, while we're here, we are in the psychic phase.
Right, okay.
Miasma of Pestilence has been cast back on the Boxwalkers again.
Oh, okay.
But some more mortal wounds have been taken. Because a double 6 was a success.
On the Plaguecaster.
So
it only has 4
wounds
wounds.
for Plaguecaster.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
So
the Plaguecaster.
Never mind. It's this fellow up on the top.
Oh, is it that? Oh, there we go. They swapped him around. Swapped him around since I last looked.
And we're now moving into the shooting phase, which I don't expect to be the most enticing of phases.
No, there'll be some bolters. There will be a bit of entropy cannon and plague burst mortar goodness. I'm going to I would love to know if that could get entropy cannon to the face, or if it's hiding. Is it hiding? That's the question. Is that classed as line of sight blocking?
It depends. I think it'll depend upon where the glaive comes out, because it's quite a long model of Succubus, really. Because she's got this really long glaive polearm thing.
Yep.
And that kind of goes quite far forwards, but equally she's holding a whip backwards, but also extends her quite far backwards as a model.
Yep.
So it's one of those where it's on a two-dimensional plane. It's like, did you ever play Crazy Bones at school?
Oh yeah, Crazy Bones are cool.
You know how you turn them sideways to make them harder to hit?
Yeah, yeah.
The Succubus would be the best for that, but if you didn't do it, she'd be terrible.
Yeah, yeah, because you could literally, everything on the board could see her probably.
Look at the references we're busting out today.
Oh mate, Crazy Bones. Used to play them on the pavement. It was sick. Telling you now, everything was destroyed by the end of it though. Like everything was chipped and horrible. But anyway,
oh mate,
I would love to know what's currently shooting of the Death Guard. I'm sure we'll get an update from the table very soon.
So they have fiber plasma, and it has done nothing.
Plasma?
Right, there's plasma.
Is it? I'm assuming there's maybe a plasma gun in a Plague Marine squad somewhere.
We'll ignore that for now. We've actually ended up with the Death Shroud Terminators are going to fire their flamers, which do so much damage to the Incubi.
Yeah.
Into the Ravager. Now, of course, we're in Contagion Rage to reduce the toughness a bit. That means it's going to be running on 5s rather than 6s.
Yep.
Because normally it's toughness 6, so down to toughness 5. So, see if we chip over those last couple of wounds off that Ravager before making that charge into those units on the objective.
Yep.
And to be honest, mate, I'd be tempted to make sure that I get into that one by rerolling my charge. I feel like that's so important. Even if you fail it, you have to roll.
Yeah.
Get on that, it's really...
It's a game swinger if you can get on that objective.
And at that point, I think there's no way that objective comes back.
No.
Now, the Ravager only took 1 wound.
Yep.
The Ravager is still alive, which is going to make it a slightly longer charge. Although a bunch of different shots are going all over the place from the Plague Burst crawlers now.
Yeah, just thinking, what can it get line of sight to, or does it have to shoot its mortar out?
It's just a lot of different target prioritization, mate, to be honest. We'll have to see how it goes.
I'm assuming that Cabal...
that has gone down.
Oh.
Straight away. I would assume that was from the mortar, because I can't see how either of those Plague Burst crawlers are going to be able to see.
Yeah.
Oh, Reaper autocannon from the Blight Lords.
What, a damage one Reaper autocannon?
It's only got 1 damage.
That's what I'm
saying. It's only had 1 wound left.
Oh, right, okay, there you go. I was like, Jesus, a Reaper autocannon's never done anything.
I know.
It's literally crazy.
But also, like, when you look at this objective gets taken off
in
Drukhari by these 2 Death Shrouds. How exactly are you ever going to retake it?
You're probably not.
You're not.
So, yeah.
You're going to end up with your 1 objective down this bottom side, and that'll...
And everything there is going to leave the death... It's everything on that objective, on objective 2, is going to leave the Death Shroud on a 2-up save.
Yeah. 100%.
There's nothing there with AP, so therefore, there's 4 wounds still, because there's 1 on 1 wound and 1 on full 3 wounds, the champion. They're just going to reap through everything there. It's going to be a breeze. Yeah.
It's going to be painful. And it looks like there's going to be a unit of racks up there.
Yeah, so that's where the other Cabalites are. I wondered where they were all game. So yeah, you'll be able to see that up here, all that's left on Objective 2 is 5 racks, and then these are some Cabalite warriors there as well.
Yeah.
So easy pickings for some Death Shroud Terminators.
Yeah, I mean, there's still only 2 models, and if you fail a bunch of 2-up saves, risky.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's very unlikely.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks like the Blight Lord's going to be firing into some of the racks down in Objective 4.
Okay. Just trying to chip some wounds off some
it's just
racks?
firing off those Terminator bolters, isn't it, really? Make it nice and easy.
The only thing I guess I would say is that still no characters have been killed yet, have they? So
not a single assassinate point has been picked up, although we will see that change.
Yeah, if the charge is made from the Plague Marines, they should pick her up, yeah.
The Raider has taken 2 wounds, but that's pretty much insignificant at this point. It's entirely a case of just the Death Guard firing out some chip damage into a lot of this Drukhari army. Now, I know you don't...
Yep.
But if you are Glenn in this situation, what do you think you'd be looking at to try and dig yourself back into this game?
I think at this point you have to try and isolate and get as many secondary points as you can. I think you have to accept you're not going to get any more Knackmund. I think you have to accept that Herd the Prey is difficult unless you shift those Death Shroud in the top right. But then what do you can't take anything else up there. There's nothing else nearby. You can't assassinate or kill any characters. Oh, it's a tough one.
I think there's a couple of characters you can get. I think the first thing you want to do is minimize how many points Alex can get from his turn 4.
Yeah.
Or how much pressure he can get from his turn 4.
Yeah.
Specifically that turn. Secondly, I think you need to try and prioritize maxing out your primaries as soon as possible because you know Alex is going to get a good chunk of points on his.
Yeah.
So that means consolidating Objective 4 and also pushing out towards Objective 3 because that's where the threats are coming in. The Poxwalkers in the center aren't an issue. The Blight Lords in the top right are probably going to be an issue.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And then the characters and the Blight Lords on the left are going to be an issue as well. But basically, it's going to be a case of leaving the Court of the Archon and the Archon himself try and deal with that stuff in the center. And then trying to use the remainder of your resources to try and safeguard that Objective 4.
Yeah.
So what I'd personally do is I'd probably see if I can move this Raider up and block off the Blight Lords. They only have a short movement.
Yep.
Or you pull it away, let the Blight Lords move by 5 inches, and then block them next to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Stop them getting onto the objective.
Yeah. So, although that Raider is taking a bit of chip damage, you don't know if it's going to be there next.
Yeah.
So,
or little stuff like
everything else, and you move it either south to reduce the possibility of those Death Shroud Terminators ever getting a charge on you, especially when they're walking through the camp's cover. or moving to the left and trying to sweep through these characters, because that's 6 points, plus another 5 points to the last. It'll be 11 points, and then you got primary points from objective 3 as well. So it's then just a case of just trying to sweep there, and then trying to push up, and then maybe if you can in your turn 5.
Is that an 11-inch charge there?
It is an 11-inch charge.
Oh boy!
And that Succubus is in for a world with her.
Isn't she just?
Now she is Cult of Strife, which means she gets to fight first.
Right.
But so do the Plague Marines because they charged.
Yep.
And because it is the
Alex's turn. Yep.
He gets to choice.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get a nice good angle with that one there.
And we are going to get a slightly blurry,
a slightly out of focus,
shot.
That's okay. That's for pestilence.
It does. That's the haze of the corruption. That's it.
Yeah,
it's the smell. It's the goodness.
The smells.
That Succubus is about to have a very smelly night out with some Plague Marines.
I mean, to be fair, if you haven't had a very smelly night out, was it a good night out?
That's a very. That's better.
Oh, well,
leave it there. Leave it there. Tell them to leave it there.
Disappointing levels of smell.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Well, yes, Mikey, it's all good. You can rest easy now, okay?
The smell, the haze is gone.
No, the haze is gone. It's back. It's back. The smell's back again.
We cleaned the air with our entire batch of air wick, and now the Death Guard have insisted.
I want to invest in a smoke machine for our shed, by the way. I want to add a smoke machine to
Your shed? I've been to Sanctuary.
It's a shed.
Not a shed.
But we call it the shed. No, I'm going off
that
screen now.
You call it the shed, but it's not a shed.
It is. It's the Hellstorm shed, Tom.
Okay.
I accept it. It's a beautiful place.
Oh, my word.
Oh, what charge was that?
What kind of a ridiculous charge is that?
It's a 10-inch charge, top left.
I guess that's not dense cover then. Fair enough.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if I like that.
Okay.
So it allows you to clear that objective 2.
Yeah.
Much more quickly.
Yeah.
But
what are you saying?
You're not going to clear it for next turn anyway, because you're not clearing out the Cabalite Warriors, because you don't have OBSEC.
Yep.
They're going to still hold it.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not going to make any difference. And what it does do is it frees up a lot more space around objective 4 to move kind of west and north.
Yeah.
Right? Because now you don't need to worry about that 5-man squad of Blight Lord Terminators that came down.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure.
What do you think?
I think the main issue there now is that Objective 2 is gone. I think there's 100%. An open overcompensation though for Objective 2.
It's definitely gone.
Yeah. But then again, the rest of the stuff now is out of the game over there. Yeah. Everything's gone. So
it is interesting watching players focus on specific areas of the board.
Yeah.
Because now we've seen, I don't think this is how I should say it, I think we've seen both Alex and Glenn very much heavily over-focus on the top right corner of the board.
Yeah.
And it's happened to both players, so I'm like, well, why is that happening?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just where their eyes
are drawn. There's nothing for priority targets that mean that's important. There's, again, the main objectives are 3 and 4. If I was Glenn in his next turn, I would make a punt for 3. I'd make a punt for 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Try and fight off in the middle if you can. There's a few Poxwalkers there. There's a few other bits and pieces. But if not, just go straight for 3 and just hope for the best, you know? There's a squad of 4 Blight Lords there which are pick-offable if you're lucky. And they are to the last. So, you know, it's an option.
Yeah, it's a good option. It's just
Geek Abaddon. Sorry, I mispronounced your name there, buddy. Stating the truth, they now have OBSEC. They've been given OBSEC, remember, in the data slate.
Of course they do.
So with Armor of Contempt, they got given OBSEC,
so
didn't they? So actually,
okay, just take it off them. Yeah,
it does. So thank you so much for flagging that. Appreciate that.
There's a lot of rules in this game.
Yeah.
I don't know most of them.
So how many objectives? So that means that Glenn will only be holding 1 at the start of his next turn.
That's still 4 points.
Still 4 points, yeah. So let's have a look.
Okay. Before we go there, we've had a big swing.
Oh, okay. Tell me what's going on.
So you know how Succubus has a 4+ invulnerable save?
I do know.
What's your experience of a 4+ invulnerable save? Would you say it's quite
they're
a
50-50. They're 50-50.
You can spike quite highly one way. And then sometimes you can spike quite highly the other way.
Yeah.
Okay. The entire Plague Marine squad has fought Succubus and done 2 wounds.
Oh my god, is that it?
That's it.
There was no strat support on the Plague Marines.
And now, the Succubus gets effectively a free interrupt because she fights first, as we already went through earlier. And we're going to see how many Plague Marines she gets to blend.
2.5, maybe?
5 wounds in return. Now, that's pretty rubbish.
Yeah, that is,
more. Oh well.
Okay, so she's now doing Show Stealer again and getting out of dodge.
And look at where she's gone. And here's the swing. The Foul Blight Spawn is in trouble.
Yeah. Is that the Warlord as well? Because that would therefore be an extra point on the Assassinator as well.
Shall we check?
Yeah, because that would then make it a 4 points.
I paid for Best Coast Pairings.
Yeah.
So I can access all tournaments.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Best Coast Pairings, it's the best couple of quid you'll spend, right?
It's not bad. Not bad.
It's better than the Warhammer GW app.
I think that's fine too. I've been using that to research rules, but I then forget. So I don't believe that this is the Warlord, but I can't really double check because this is a Battle Scribe export, and so I have no idea who the Warlord actually is.
Okay. I will find out because they will have. Let's have a look. Who is the Warlord? Hey, Lord of Virulence is the Warlord. So it's not. It says Warlord there.
I did not read that bit.
There you go. So it's not. That's okay. It's still 3 points.
Still 3 points.
And it's also the fight last person. So, you know. It's also a tooled up Foul Blight spawn. Because, you know, it has the death heads, if I remember. So we'll have to see what happens. As you can see.
We're now getting away from the bit that's so, like, super swingy in the center.
Right.
We're getting away from that bit. And Alex wants to do something that's a little bit more safe.
Okay.
So he's taken his 7 Terminators to the 5 racks.
Right, okay. That's going to make him feel better.
Rolling the dice.
Yeah, and it looks like how many racks are about to be picked up?
Good job he did 2 because 2 racks have died.
Okay.
Oh, that was alrighty then.
There we go.
I'm not gonna comment on that one.
Nope.
Oh, dearie me.
So it looks like we're just going to be doing the rest of these attacks into these racks now.
Yep, the second squad of Terminators is going straight in.
Okay.
This will be Blight Lord Terminators.
Yep, so those. Yep, so initially those were the Death Shroud. Yep.
Yep.
Only picked up 2, unfortunately, but I'm sure
2 more than they would have picked up otherwise.
That's very true, but I'm sure now that the Blight Lords will be doing the rest of the job. So.
If they don't, oh, never mind. I just
that's
okay.
dead. Yeah.
Fine. Yeah. Okay. Feel No Pain's coming through though, so should be dead.
Is one left? Not that it matters because they've got OBSEC and more models.
He's only lost 2 after Feel No Pain though.
Oh, okay.
There is 1 rack remaining. However, it will be at the mercy of morale checks because we haven't reached Fearless Drukhari time yet.
Not yet, no.
And we also don't have any more command points.
Yeah.
Which means...
I'm assuming it's going to fail on maybe anything more than a 3? What's the rack leadership? 7?
I would assume.
Something like that, yeah.
It depends if it's the
champion of the racks.
No, well, it could be the champion of the racks, but also they have the upgraded racks, don't they?
Oh, yeah, they do.
The
Hemoxites, yes.
I don't
No. Yeah.
Hemoxites, I believe, are down in the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah.
So, we've moved away from that combat now. We're going back towards the rest of the combat across the rest of the board. And we've actually moved into the center.
Okay.
So, we are going to the Archon, who is swinging at the Poxwalkers.
Makes sense.
Poxwalkers have gone down.
Okay.
I'm sure they'll be back in a couple of minutes.
About 2 minutes, yeah, literally, yeah.
And now this time, the court has been called out of combat.
Oh, for God's sake. It's literally just you can't win. Everybody wants to fight, but not everyone's allowed to fight, so...
It's kind of like those squidgies.
Yeah.
You get when you squidge one end, the other end becomes all swollen.
Yeah.
It's like, fight with the Archon.
And then, like, they just disappear into the ground.
You can't grab it on the other side. And then
pop back up.
You get more back. Yeah. Then you squidge them with the cut of the Archon. Yeah.
They're just running away from each other.
Okay. The Poxwalkers are fighting, and they're spending the CP to do mortal wounds on hits of 6s.
Yep.
Again.
Doesn't look like there's a 6 there, unfortunately. Nope, there's a bad roll in general.
Worth a try.
Yeah.
I respect the effort.
1 wound or 2 wounds? Maybe 2 wounds in contagion range there.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
Spending CP on Poxwalkers trying to kill stuff always feels like a little bit of a luxury.
1 fail though. 1 fail.
I mean, do you really need to kill an extra model?
No, not for the 7 points of a Poxwalker. Yeah. They're just there to hold stuff up, sit on objectives.
Okay, the Archon has taken a wound.
Yeah.
But did not use a shadow field.
Okay, so yeah.
So it's completely insignificant.
Yeah. Holding on to that shadow field for something a little bit meaner. Maybe an entropy cannon. Who knows? We'll have to see what eventually... Because that Archon, again, doesn't have too much around him right now. Other than that court of the Archons and the Urgles. Little bit open.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see this right here, guys. This is the Archon there.
Yep. And now we're about to be getting into the territory of... How can the Drukhari respond?
Yeah.
And actually, I think, compared to how this looked a turn ago...
Yep.
This is distinctly less horrible than it was then.
Yeah.
Is this good? Probably not. No.
Yeah. I think.
Is it playable?
Maybe.
It depends upon what the decisions each player makes.
Yeah.
However, there is a path here. Now, the racks have passed our morale on objective 2.
Cool.
Which means we need to get the specifics on how many models are on that objective. If both players get OBSEC. So it goes down to number. Yeah. So
it goes to number of models as soon as 2 people have OBSEC. So
that was the thing. So they do have more models on there,
right?
Because those Cabalites are a little bit off. They don't have enough dudes on there.
Yeah.
However, it does just mean that you've got so many bodies. Now,
yeah.
You have a lot more freedom across the rest of the board. Now, as you can see, Glenn is already going for it. Glenn's turn starts, and immediately
I'm
he's
moving
going
that
succubus.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, he's pulling his hand back. He's like, I don't know. Do I want to? We'll have to see. Turn 4, guys. You are watching Hellstormwargaming live at Goonhammer 2022. It's good to be back. This is our 2nd year of doing this right now. And we are on game 3 of a massive 6-round tournament. 128 man in the UK, Nottingham. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're enjoying the commentary and if you just want to say hi to me, Tom and Tom, yes, the 2 Toms on the desk right now, please put a comment in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. And most importantly, if you feel like supporting us right now, we have your chance to win a £50 hobby voucher to spend at a place of your choice. You can spend it at GW. You can spend it at Forge World. You can spend it at your friendly local gaming store. And if you want to get involved, this is what you need to do. You need to super chat. A £2 donation will get you in the draw once. So if you super chat like £4, £5, that's two entries into the draw. You can become a member for an entry as well. All these things as well go to support us because we've given up our beautiful weekend to bring you some epic 40k content. So yeah, let us know where you're watching from, guys, and if you can support us, that'd be mint. Tom, what's going on? What's happening?
So, I've got a question, Tom.
Oh, not another question.
Without Blightspawn,
yes.
Does it have a flamer?
Yeah, he has the 12-inch. He has the 12-inch Overwatch flamer, doesn't he? Why?
Because the succubus is running face first in it without Blightspawn.
But can she not turn off Overwatch?
She can.
Yeah.
But it'll cost a CP.
And Glenn has one.
And
he just whether he uses it on something else. We'll have to see.
And there is no CP for Death Guard, so we can't Overwatch anyway.
Well, never mind. But thank you for the test. I appreciate the test, okay?
To be honest, bad info anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah.
And now, this is where we see, I just want to see some good 40k. Clean 40k from here on out.
Yep.
No blunders, no errors.
Oh, actually, I think the Foul Blightspawn's the grenade guy, actually, so I was wrong. The biologist putrefies the flame. Sorry, okay, so, yeah. So, before chat, someone corrects me.
Succubus up here, good.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this. Take and hold, we've already got the primary points in for this turn, so you're going to have one more turn of Glenn scoring, plus you're going to have 3 points for priority targets. Okay, fine. Whatever.
Nice. That's looking healthy for Glenn.
It's then entirely about where can you pick up points. 2 points in here for prayer on the bottom right. So that's going to get him up to 59. Okay? Assassination, I reckon he can get at least 2 this turn. He can get the top left and the bottom left.
Yep.
So there's a couple more characters that you can pick up there. Suddenly, there are points on the board that Glenn can score. He's managed to get through to get these characters.
Yep.
Part of that is definitely, though, where these Terminators have ended up. He's not done that because he's blasted through all the Terminators.
Right.
He's done that because there's 7 Terminators in the top right-hand corner.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're all there, hanging out together on objective 2,
Yeah. So, it's working out okay for him now. He has got a plan. You could see, as soon as it went through to his turn, he was straight at that succubus.
Oh,
he was
sure.
very eager.
Yeah.
He wanted that charge. Okay.
He needs those 3 assassination points, yeah?
Well, yeah, but also it was like one of those where he'd seen it for so long because he spent so long in the fight phase. This succubus just stood there. After he got away with that one and the succubus lived, straight out.
Yeah.
Straight out the gates. And that just shows you the value of that show stealer.
Oh, God,
because being able to get out of that combat without falling out.
In a different phase, basically. It's really nice.
Value town. Yeah. We love it. Fantastic stuff. So, heading over into that direction, partly Firebox is a flame guy, but it doesn't really matter because there's no Overwatch coming out anyway, because there's no CP to be spent by either player. You've got one apart from on Glenn, and that's about it. The Cabalite warrior unit in the backfield back in the bottom right corner have just advanced 10 inches. They're going to be going up towards the Blightspawn on the top section. I would assume that that's just a precautionary measure to screen that off for the next 2 turns if absolutely necessary. But I don't think it's going to make a massive difference to the game itself. I think that it's all going to be decided upon how hard this bottom left damage output goes. Top left, I'm going to assume it's actually just going to kill that Carbide spawn, and then probably die in return at some point. You'd have to assume. So that's going to be a free trade. It's not.
Yeah.
Wherever points we fall for is, this is a big swing at the bottom left, because obviously we've been through the to the last. We've been through the two assassinate points
double
on the bottom
sixes
left
I'm seeing.
there.
Double six charge
and
there, is it?
also got, that is a priority target objective.
It is, yeah.
For Alex. If we could swap over to Alex's points for us, we can see how
certainly can.
Primary. There you go. So that's going to be 2 turns worth of primary scoring, but good chance that he doesn't get to pick priority targets. So, if we look at that very quickly, which objectives is Alex currently holding? Currently holding the top left.
Yep.
Currently holding the top right.
Yes.
So that's going to be 8 points. We're going to tick him over. If we just tick back across again.
Yep.
Tick him over to 37.
Yep.
So we should max it anyway. So the priority target doesn't matter.
Agreed.
37 and all 2.
45. Yep.
Not even a problem. Priority targets isn't an issue. It's going to entirely be about, one, how many primary points can Glenn pick up for himself rather than denying it from Alex, and secondly, it's going to be about how many assassinate points can I pick up and deny to the last points from Alex.
Yeah. It's going to be all down to those. Probably Alex's turn 4. And then Glenn's turn 5 is where the points will be won and lost.
Let's look at this from the best case scenario here. 10 points. So we'd have 45 points on primary for Alex.
Yep.
We'll put 9 points on for Spread of Sickness because he's going to do it on 1, on 2, and on 3.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to say, so he's definitely Alex is definitely doing it on 3 and
1.
So he's definitely doing it on 2. Yep. Yeah. So that's definitely 9 there. Yeah.
Should be 9. So that'll be 54.
Yep.
Then assassination, 3 for the succubus.
Because the succubus is definitely going to go down, yeah?
57. And it'll be 67 points onto the last.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Close.
This is a game.
This is close. This is really close.
This could be close, yeah.
Let's take a look at Glenn. Yeah. Glenn needs, so if he gets those 3 points...
That raid has gone straight in, by the way. Not if you're using it for screening anymore now, but Black Lord's gone
It's
so
like,
far off.
I'm going to block you off and charge you at the same time.
Yeah. It works. As long as it works.
We'll have to see here what I think. Some more charges here, maybe.
Yeah. The big mosh pit is moving its way around the board.
Have to see from the table bosses what's currently being charged. It looks like on Objective 3 there are some Kabbalite warriors. There are some Incubi and some Racks even. Okay.
There's a few things that have been done into the fighting last. So the Succubus is fighting last.
Okay.
Which is fighting normally because of Kabbalite spawn. The Blightlord Terminator has been made to fight last.
Okay.
And the Poxwalkers in the center, of which I believe there are 3 remaining.
Wow. All those big 3 Poxwalkers, yeah?
Which means, at the end of the day, Drukhari fights first.
Yes.
Which I'm sure he'll be very pleased about.
Oh, Drukhari always should fight first. That's a universal special rule, right?
He's going straight for it, mate. He's going straight for it.
So is this Drukhari now powering up?
I'd be interested to see what Drukhari is specifically swinging against here, but it looks like he's swinging against the character on the bottom side. That might be the Lord of Virulence. We'll see if we can get a shot in there. Not quite a particular. That's a very muscular arm.
I'm about to say, it's a sexy arm, isn't it? I can't seem to get a shot of it right now on the cameras, but we all know it's happening on Objective 4 currently, guys. That's where it's the... Oh, no, Draz is... Sorry, where is Draz? Draz is...
He's in the middle of that whole mosh pit.
He's here,
yeah? See him there. Yeah, you are well identified. You don't even play Drukhari and you know.
I know, I just know where he is.
Too much Drukhari at this point.
I just love Draz. He's my favourite model. He's one of my favourite models, I'll tell you now.
Okay, so Drukhari has removed 1 Terminator. Wait, he does fight twice.
Yeah, so if he could do another... So that's down to a score of 3 now, I believe. Yeah.
And as the table bosses say, that is impressive, given how durable they are.
They are.
So we take those.
Oh, for sure.
W, I guess.
Yeah. So, ending our poll right now, 47 votes, 55% saying Death Guard going to win, 45 saying Drukhari. That is. Shows how close this game's going to be, though. But we have got some Death Guard fans in the chat, so big rep for the Death Guard.
People love Dismells.
And
works out quite well.
We are now seeing a beautiful shot of the table of this combat in question.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we're seeing there...
I
knew that was going to happen.
Yes, that's what content we're here for.
Look at that. That is a face on a bomb. I mean, Mike is really proud of himself because he's given us this angle. Honestly, I'm going. Goodbye, angle. We don't like you anymore.
We don't want to get demonetized.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll have cam girls coming in the stream again and being like, hey, HD cam girls.
I don't see why that's a problem.
That's very good point. Yeah. Why do we should never turn down viewers. That's what I'm saying.
So Drazhar's had a swing. The Hamoxites are about to go into the Malignant Playcaster now as well.
Ooh.
See if we can pick up.
That would be another 3 points on Assassinate.
It would be another 3 points.
That would shut down Miasma of Pestilence.
I say another Assassinate. No one's actually scored one. Until now,
oh my
the
God.
Playcaster has gone down to the
Thank
Hamoxites.
God.
And that will be the first assassination
of turn 4. Turn 4 assassination.
Across both players.
Thank God for that. Jesus Christ.
I mean, it has been vindicated.
Yeah. There are people now looking at us going, why are we celebrating one assassinate at turn 4? Because we are, Innes Wilson. Because we are. Okay?
We've got down to the characters. We're down to the bare bones.
Finally, the chaff has been removed or bypassed. One of them. We'll have to see what happens next. But still, we've got a Succubus to fight.
I feel like this entire game has just been one never-ending charge phase or fight phase.
Yeah, that is when you get tied in.
Unit's 4 and the dice have been rolled and this has died.
Yeah.
Oh, this unit has 4 and yeah. Okay.
When you get into Death Guard, they are literally just the definition of a punch bag. That's all they do.
I mean, yeah.
They are.
Not involved. They're quite good at it as well.
Yeah, they're a smelly punch bag.
They're playing to their strengths.
Yeah.
So. Next combat.
Oh, where are we going next? It looks like middle into the Poxwalkers.
A rack.
Ooh.
So the quote from the table is, someone did something and nothing happened.
Great. Well, now there's a lot more dice being rolled, so I'm hoping something's going to be happening now. I'm hoping.
I would assume that's a ghoul.
Is it? With all those attacks? Apparently, Urguls have been really good. I need to get some.
Oh, dear me. Although...
What's been pulled off the board?
Dead fella in the center.
What's been pulled off?
That's been the Court of the Archon fighting.
Right, okay, so... Is there anything even left in the middle?
And the Archon's having to go into that one as well now.
Oh, right, okay, great.
If you can finally get rid of these Poxwalkers. It looks like the combat's shrunk to the point where no one can actually...
no one can seem to finish it off.
Anymore.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Everyone's just like, oh, I've got one attack, and you've got like 3 attacks.
It's like they're fighting each other with wet fish.
Yeah. No, you take a slap. No, you take a slap. I'm really
All right,
intrigued.
so we're now going through some of the Death Guard combat.
Okay.
We've picked up a rack on Objective 2.
Right.
The Blight Lords, down the bottom left, are going to be attacking Drazhar.
Right, trying to get those assassinate points.
Now, the fact that those Blight Lords haven't gone down yet is a little concerning now.
To the last.
To the last, only one character's gone down, and obviously it's going to be Death Guard turn next.
Yep.
And they're going to have an opportunity to pick whatever they want.
Yes, agreed,
right.
Yeah. Oh, what was that? That's the Raider gone?
Raider has gone down.
What was attacking the Raider then? Was that the load of Virulence?
So it's mixed the attacks.
Right,
some
mixed,
attacks into Raider and then some attacks into Drazhar.
So I'm guessing 2 into Drazhar now?
No explosion, miraculously.
We've had a lot of explosions.
We've had a lot of explosions. That's done all right.
Yep.
Drazhar's now going to be taking a little bit of a beating, and then we're all building up to the climax, which is going to be the Foul Blight spawn on the top left, the Succubus.
Yes. Can we make sure we get a camera angle on the Foul Blight spawn on the Succubus, please? For when that happens.
That'd be good.
If Mikey did some work, that would be fantastic.
A Scottish man is distracting.
We're now going to evil Mikey because he's being lazy. Yes, Mikey.
What?
Yes. He's going to be... Mikey doesn't know why we're looking at him.
I feel like as the day's gone on, Mikey's got more and more tired and
he's
got more and more energetic.
But we're asking you to do something and you're not paying a blind bit of attention to us. Yeah, it's about time you did some work. Yeah, Mikey. Hi, Mikey. We'd really like a camera angle of the Succubus and the Foul Blight spawn because it's going to be really important. Could you manage that? Jesus Christ, you just can't get the staff. No, okay, cool, fine.
So, we've done the top combat now.
Okay.
We're doing it.
We're doing it, okay.
The Foul Blight spawn's attacked. The Succubus did not die.
Oh, okay.
It just means it's going to get this attack. It's fine.
Great,
yeah.
okay.
So the Succubus is going to have a swing into that Foul Blight spawn, but has been wounded because he pooed himself on that objective.
He did poo himself, He hurt himself with a really tough poo-poo.
And he's gone down.
No, there he is. Can I get an angle, can we? Can I see it?
That's a nice angle.
Oh, okay, we'll go back to that one.
These are all nice angles,
These
but
are all
none
lovely.
of the angles we're looking for.
No, unfortunately not. We'll let them off.
These are not the...
No.
Yes. Anyway. That, I think, is going to be the end of Death Guard turn 4.
Is it? Okay, let's have a look then.
It is.
End of Drukhari turn 4.
Correct.
That's fine.
They're beginning with D.
Yeah.
A lot of things I like to talk about beginning with D.
Everything's about the D with you, isn't it, Tom?
I mean, yes.
Yeah. So as you can see, there was the show. He's done Show Stealer. The succubus is gone somewhere.
It's hiding behind a ruin.
Okay, so that means that a Plague Burst Crawler is going to have to entropy cannon the succubus to the face. Surely. That's got to happen.
I respect it.
Yeah, it's got to happen.
That's a nice plan.
Yeah, it is. Slugger as well. Never forget the Slugger, guys.
If that succubus somehow manages to live, that'll be hilarious.
It will.
He's gone so far.
She's done so well, bless her. However,
it might not even matter.
Yeah.
But she's done okay.
Yep.
She can be proud of her achievements.
S90 saying enhance zoom flip left. Yeah, we've got a lot of cameras and there's a lot of maneuvering and flipping.
And to the left.
Yeah, exactly. To the right. Take it back now, yo. Right, let's have a look at Alex. We're going into Alex's turn. Whoa.
Yeah, I look at it and I think, is Glenn's lead insurmountable at this
Is it
point?
good enough?
And then I look at to the last and I think, no, it's not.
You need to add 15 on, don't you? Yeah. So 68 there with to the last currently.
Yeah.
Alex is definitely not losing at least one squad of Blight Lords and the Death Shroud in the top right.
I'm just going to have a quick peek. I want to see if there's any Drukhari left on Objective 2. And I don't think there is, you know.
I don't think there is either.
Pooper that's going to appear on that.
Yeah. I think the rack's gone. Is the rack gone? Has it run off?
Okay, so that's it. Yeah, so there is no Drukhari on that section, which means you're going to end up with 9 on Spread the Sickness, unless maybe you can get... Ooh, okay. Plague Marines.
Right.
There,
okay.
If they
that's
can
an advance there, by the way, for the Blight Lords.
If they can push the Drukhari off the central objective for the next 2 turns, that's another 3 points on Spread the Sickness. It's not even necessarily about primaries at that point.
It's just about scoring them secondaries.
Yeah. Because it looks like they're both going to, if not max, get very close to max.
Yep.
On that primary.
Agreed. And so, like I said, those Blight Lords only got a 1-inch advance, unfortunately.
Yep.
The Death Shroud just tucking in. They'll be the ones that have to spread the sickness on themselves.
They're
that one
have a plop.
Yeah, and also one of them's going to die from their plop because they've got 1's on 1 wound.
Oh, did they both die?
They both? No, I think only one died.
I hope so. But...
Well, it's impossible for them both to die.
So he took 1 mortal wound to spread the sickness on Objective 2,
and
that's killed 1
yeah,
death.
He had 1 wound left.
So you were spot on with that one. Nice work, Tom.
So now what are these remaining 3 Blight Lords doing whilst they're with Drazar?
He's shat himself to death on the objective.
And that's how I think we'd all like to go, right? It'd be a glorious way.
Calm down, Elvis.
Yeah.
That Plague Burst Crawler is going to have a little bit of a... Calm down, Henry V. He's going to come round all the way around the back of that ruin, try and hunt out that succubus. And it looks like he's doing it by himself.
Yeah, he's just
going to...
No
one else wants any part of this.
Level the entropy cannons into the succubus's face and pray to God that they all hit, because that's what's going to be needed right now.
I mean, you can always use the entropy cannon from the other one, right? That's the top gun, right?
No, sorry, the Plague Burst Mortar is the top gun.
Plague Burst Mortar, my
apologies. The mortar on the top, 2 entropy cannons that need line of sight. So what could happen on that succubus is a max of 2 Plague Burst Mortars and 2 entropy cannons.
In fact, we've already got straight into this.
Oh.
We've already got into the Plague Burst Crawler.
Into the succubus?
Going straight into the succubus. Yeah.
What happened? What
I
happened?
need to learn these names because actually, I just don't.
Oh, yes! That's 3 assassinate points! We just had another assassinate!
For Alex, so he's got the 3 points there.
Okay.
I feel like I should really learn the names of these Death Guard guns because they're actually quite well named.
Yeah, they're really good,
After reading the Necron Codex, I instantly come to the conclusion that it's just going to be called the Turd Cannon.
The Turd Cannon, yeah. It does probably shoot a turd out of its top part, yeah.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's actually quite well named.
Yeah,
so, you know.
Let's check that one out. Oh, sexy! Let's have a look at another shot.
Sexy.
Oh, Mike is moving it as I move to it.
Okay, here comes a Bigfoot hunting.
Look at that. That's a nice angle. I like that angle. It's good.
Yeah, it's pretty
so it looks like now more shooting.
Let's
try and work out what's shooting from where. Lord of Contagion into the Court of the Archon. Lord of Virulence. Oh, what you like, Mikey?
So he's the Lord of Virulence actually just firing into the Court of the Archon.
Yeah.
See what I can remove there. There goes the Sliff, I believe.
Yeah, so he's just going to be picking up. What's he picking up?
Is that going to leave one Right. There is something you need to know about Urgul.
Go on.
Okay. I've been singing their praises all game.
Okay.
There's one characteristic that's a bit rubbish, and it's their leadership.
And they like leadership 4.
It is leadership 4.
Oh my God, I got it right and I was being sarcastic. What? That's cool. So basically, every time they lose 1, they die.
Yeah.
So basically, like, oh no, you have to take a leadership.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. Is that because they don't they're like slaves, they're prisoners?
I don't even know what they are.
Okay. Allies of the Drukhari, but they don't want to stick around.
No, they're not eager.
No. Chat, tell us
what
Urgles are.
Wild and become Bigfoot.
Oh, but slithery Bigfoot.
Yeah, but you never know if they grow hairy in the wild.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't tend to live long enough to. Maybe they're just born bald and they never live long enough to get hairy.
I guess they're like weird tamed beasts. You know, like the Drukhari have Beastmasters. Yeah. But they're like you said, bare He-Man versions of beasts, I guess.
Waxed.
Yes.
Bigfoot.
Waxed Bigfoot. There we go. We're having it. Copyright Tom. Tom Layton, he's got waxed Bigfoot now.
Hashtag waxed Bigfoot.
That's it. That will probably sum up this entire first day's worth of streaming. Waxed Bigfoot. And also Squishy, which Mikey made me discover in game 1. So Tom, just while we're sort of winding down this, you've been with us for 3 games. You're not here tomorrow, but
I'm not. No.
Number 1, first of all, a massive thanks for being a legend.
Anytime,
we're not over yet, but what's been your favourite game to watch and also play?
My favourite game to watch, I think, was probably game 2. Yeah. Because it was so close and back and forth.
Yeah.
I thought, and it was so interesting in terms of it came down to such a wire.
Yeah. And both players very good players as well.
They were properly thinking about it, and they were helping each other out. It was really, really good fun to watch.
It was a brother battle, wasn't it?
A brother battle, the battle for the title of Duff Man. But another battle that's not been going well for at least one individual.
Yes.
Is the Archon has gone down to the last of the save rolls that he had to make.
Oh no! In the middle.
He rolled his 1, and it killed him.
Oh no! So that means that's 6 points in for assassination, right?
Oh, never mind. He is alive, but he has lost the shadow field.
Right, got you. Okay.
He's not alive for very long. The plasma gun decided not to do anything to follow that up.
Fair enough.
But,
so you'll see.
He is now naked in the
Archon has no 2-up anymore. It's gone through. It's failed. You can't re-roll the shadow
look
field.
What's coming down the hill?
Is it a monster? Is it a?
It's
Death
5 Plague Marines.
Okay, 5. It's more. It looks like maybe 6 or 7 Plague Marines.
Oh, never mind. It wasn't the Plague Marines. It was a turd falling from on high.
A Plague Burst Mortar turd.
A Plague Burst Mortar turd.
Plague Turd Mortar.
Yes.
We'll figure a good name out for it eventually. Yeah.
Came flying over the top of the crates, hit him right in the dome, and now he's dead.
Great. Well, I'm glad a Plague Burst Mortar finally did something.
It did.
Good.
They've done quite a lot, actually. They've killed 2 characters.
2 characters in this turn. They powered up in 1 turn.
Nothing for 3 turns.
Yep.
And then 2 direct hits.
Yep. It's funny, I did say, do you know if Alex could pick up the Dark Lancers, I said those Plague Burst Crawlers would be fine, and they have been. They're both full wounds.
Yeah.
They've got nothing that can now threaten them, really.
Yeah.
Maybe Drazar, but is Drazar going to want to pick on a Plague Burst Crawler when he's not going to get any points? No. Yeah. So those Plague Burst Crawlers are fine to the end now.
You may have noticed that Alex has lost his 1 CP.
What did
because he charged the Court of the Archon with Plague Marines.
Yeah.
Rolled a double 1.
Ooh.
That's the 3rd double 1 we've seen in the charge today on this table.
So, going to have to do that. Cheeky reroll.
He's
looks like they're in now.
Passed it, and now he's in.
So that also means he's lining himself up for that Spread the Sickness turn 5. Clear those Urgles off, and before you know it, you're fine.
Well, I think with Drukhari are running out of units here.
Yeah.
I think with Drukhari are running out of units. They didn't hit everything they need to hit in turn 4. I think maybe it was a bit optimistic for us to think, oh, maybe we need to do this.
Yeah.
But that's why we needed the Incubi that were inside this room that went north to go and deal with the unit, and then they failed to do it, right?
Well, if you remember, they lost 5 from Overwatch.
And then they died in melee without doing anything.
Yeah. So that was, what? How many points are Incubi? Like a squad of 10? 200 odd?
Yeah.
Then,
maybe not that much. It was
no?
180, I believe.
180. But still, for 1 wound, they're very flimsy. You need to play them well. Yeah, nice, mate. Congrats. But yeah, you need to play them a lot more glass cannon. You can't just put them in and hope. You have to be ready to kill everything, don't you? So.
Yeah, whereas now I think the Drukhari are running out of steam a little bit. They traded down on one of the plays and went forward with a big unit, but it was a big commitment. And that's really put them a little bit behind the curve. I'm not saying it would have worked out if it stayed around and been used later on to charge into these Blightlord Terminators, but it is a point that you can look at and say, oh, this unit didn't do as much as maybe they should. Right.
For sure.
Yeah, Drazar has taken some wounds.
Ooh, how
many?
Down
to 4.
Oh, okay. So 2 wounds.
Yep. And now we're doing the Plague Marines into the Court of the Archon.
I'm hoping these should be some dead Urgles and Sliths and stuff here.
I think the Sliths are already dead.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Just the Urgle. Going down. And then there's not really anything for the Drukhari to lob on that objective at that point. Maybe you could take the Cabalite Warriors that were going north, move them west, and then take the racks or the Homoxites on objective 4, and then try and run up.
Yep.
And just try and stand them there, just so that they can't do the action.
Yep.
But that's a long run. Maybe you have to charge something.
Watkin in chat just basically saying that it cost the Death Guard 5 CP to kill those Incubi, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
I'd also agree. Because those Incubi, slice and dice, they're very mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the interrupts, the Overwatch, the extra CP to make the Overwatch even meaner. Yeah, it was all, you know, it was...
Yep. And that is that for the Death Guard, fine.
Right.
So we now have got the Drukhari. So Drukhari is going to keep flogging these Terminators until he can maybe break through and force that to the last point off.
Yeah, so that's one dead there. So I think now there's only... Is that
He's very consistent.
There are only
he kills
two...
one every time, doesn't he?
Yeah, is there only 2 left now, I think?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks that way. Because you had 1 killed by Hellions.
Yep.
And then that's the second one that's getting killed by Drukhari.
Yep.
So that'll be 3 dead, so there's 2 left, I'd assume. We're doing all right. So the Terminators are going back into Drukhari now.
So, let's see if we can get a 6. There we go. There is an angle and a half. That is, we've got some Terminators. We've got Drukhari, and Drukhari is going to hope and cling on. Look at the VPs now. They've shut up. So, again, this isn't taking into account the to the last for Alex. 62-71 is the overall scores right now. Add another 15 on for Alex. We have 77 versus 71. That's maths, kids. And that is what we're looking like right now. Again, a big fight phase here, though. If Draz can kill... If Draz can fight again and kill them, maybe?
6 wounds in on Drazar.
6 on Drazar, right, okay.
But he has got his invulnerable save.
Okay, let's have a look at the dice K.
That's not a bad roll. Oh.
2 fail.
I can't see the other 2.
The dice cam's gone for a bit of a wander off the side. We'll see if we can pull it back up.
Never mind, Drazar.
Nope, up top left there, you'll see it there.
That's another character.
Right, Drazar gone.
I think the...
well, the
if we could just tack back to Glenn for a second. Oh, he must have killed the Virulent Playcaster, the Lord of Virulence. He's got 9 points.
So he's killed Foul Blight Spawn. He's killed the Malignant Playcaster and...
Yeah, and then the Death Guard have lost the Foul Blight Spawn, the Malignant Planecaster, and the Lord of Virulence.
Cool. So when Drazar wasn't actually attacking the Blight Lord, he was attacking the Lord of Virulence. Cool. Yeah, just to clear that up. There we go. Yep.
Still what though?
Oh yeah, still really good.
Okay, heard the praise. Going to be a
so that's Glenn. Well. Let's just flick straight back over to see what Alex's secondaries are like. Again, it's a bit skewed out with that to the last
is so important.
Yeah.
That to the last is so important.
But it does mean there are still 2 Blight Lords there, right? 2 Blight Lords, a full squad of 5. They're not being touched. Oh, the only play that Glenn has right now is to pick up those 2 Blight Lords.
Although we are going now into Glenn's turn 5.
Here we go. Okay, so Glenn scores his primary at the start of turn 5, whereas Alex won. 44. Let's have a look. 44. Is that the max for the primary?
But he's going to get his priority targets at the end of a turn.
He is, because he's holding objective 4. Yes, correct. So that will take him up to 45, like you said.
Yeah. Now he is trying to go and get that last R&D.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah,
with what? Has he got something else in Deep Strike? I'm
not sure. Let's have a look. But it looks like he's dropping something.
About to say, there's a stick there, which makes me think there might be something else in Deep Strike.
Well, it's turn 5.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. The Death Guard have accidentally screened him out. So, but I'll say no. Sorry, the Death Guard intentionally screened him out.
Right, yes. Intentional, yes. Of course. I wasn't even aware there's anything in Deep Strike.
I definitely remember measuring it.
No, there was no measurement. Surely, right? Okay.
Fine. It's all good. Not a problem at all. So we're not going to be able to get the maximum Necron data here.
Nope. So he's going to have to play for something else.
It would be interesting to see if there's any more characters left for the Death Guard and where they are. See if we can have a look at those assassination points, because we're assuming we're going to get to 80 on the second hold.
The only thing is, the actual assassination is actually 10 points, because the Lord of Virulence...
Okay, the Lord of Virulence is still alive.
The Lord of Virulence is gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was the Warlord, so they get an extra point for assassinate. So what was killed then? What other character was killed? No. What other Death Guard one? We will find out, because we will.
Yeah, we're going to go check. So Nakman's going to be on 8.
Yeah.
Herd the Prey is going to be on 10.
9 points. Tallyman. Thank you. That's why we're missing the Tallyman.
That's fine.
Cool. There we go. Sorry, Tallyman. There we go.
On Herd the Prey. If Glenn can get the Lord of Virulence, that would take him up to 12 on assassination, or 13.
13.
Is the Warlord.
Yeah.
And then he'll get another 2 on Herd the Prey.
Which looks like that's where he's going for.
We're already in the charge phase.
Jesus Christ! Jesus, where's this come from?
So this is just one big charge phase.
This is
It's
Incubi into the Lord of Virulence and Blight Lord Terminators, like the looks of it. Gonna try and maybe split them attacks up. Yep. See what happens, yeah?
Those assassination points are actually coming in quite well now.
Assassination
points coming in very, very well.
Could you imagine if Glenn clutches it by killing a character here to max 13 on Assassinate, and also denying 5 onto the last? Could you imagine that swing?
86 points.
Yeah, and also deny Alex getting 5. Yeah, so...
But 86 points, solid target.
Yeah, really good.
Solid target.
This is in the balance, kids. If you switched off at this point, you're silly, all right? You just need to hang on 10 minutes to find out the result of this very tight game.
I think the Drukhari might have it.
79 versus 80 currently as things stand.
79 versus 80? Oh, yeah.
Because of to the last. However, Glenn will pick up that extra point.
Oh, no, never mind. So it depends on how many points Alex has left that he can score on primary.
But also, Glenn will pick up the extra point for priority target, so it'll be 80-80 because he can max out 45.
Yeah.
So hitting the Terminators first, yeah? So Incubi, let's take it quick to the top down with the dice. So this is Glenn's turn. Hitting the 2 Blight Lord Terminators. Many different dice there. It's hard to keep track of which one is which, but... Pulling out.
We've got plenty of time at this point.
Oh, God, yeah.
We're doing all right. That's a good number of wounds there.
So, can the Blight Lords...
If you can get this unit of Blight Lords.
So they've got 4 up invuln, 3 failed invulns there.
But if it's 1 damage each, down to
okay, so that's 1. At least 1 dead, and then he's got some more saves to take with all those 8 dice. Because he's rolled 4.
Oh no, he's got it. He's killed 1 and taken 2 wounds off another one, so there's 1 guy left on 1 wound.
Which is now failed. Has he? Yeah, because they've not...
That's all the attacks?
That's it.
He's left on 1 wound.
No, he's dead. He's just picked him up. He's just picked him up.
Killed it?
He just kicked him up.
When I said the squad, I thought it meant the squad had finished fighting.
Yeah. So, to the last, denied for 5 points. We're now into the Lord of Virulence with the rest of the Incubi attacks.
That's big.
Now he's separating out the wounds. 6s, pulling the 4s to the side. 6s do extra damage, I believe, or is it extra AP on the 6s for the Incubi? Is it extra Incubi?
No.
There's nothing?
No.
There's nothing at all?
No.
Why is he separating them out then?
Yeah.
6s there. He's put the 6s to the side and the 4s and 5s to the side. It must be something to do with it. I don't know. Anyway, chat, help us out. Okay. 4. Okay.
Warlord's gone down as well.
That's it. Gone. Gone. Lord of Virulence is dead.
Ability to get into all those assassination points. Yeah. Because he had access to the characters.
Chat coming through. J-Man said Incubi on a 6 is +1 damage and +1 AP.
Oh, yeah, he's right. Yeah,
there we go. Cool. There we go. So that could have swung the game. Sorry to interrupt.
No, fine. You're okay. You're okay.
So, again, if you're just watching, that is pretty much Glenn's turn done. Yeah? Pretty much.
Herd of Prey still to come in, and the taken hold point.
Yes.
That'll put him up to 86.
Yeah. So, if
it's then a case. Can Alex patch 86 points?
So, to the last can only be 10, so that's 75. That means he needs to get another 11 points from somewhere.
He's going to get 8 points on taken hold.
Yes.
Okay. 86, so 8 more points.
Yeah.
On there, we'll get into 83.
Then he needs to find another 3.
Spread the sickness.
Take him to 86, which would then make him a draw. Can he assassinate Drazar? Is that what will be the difference here?
So I think...
Yeah.
I'm not backseat gaming here, but I would
mean, we are literally here to backseat game, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm also aware I'm an idiot.
No, that's fine. We're all idiots. we're idiots together. It's fine.
So, I mean, that doesn't make a difference.
Okay, so Blight Lord Terminator's moving. I don't know where they're moving, but they're maybe going to put some shots down.
Score for Glenn again, just to make sure we're definitely
can. There we go. That's Glenn.
So there's that 86. There's the confirmation. We've got the maximum primaries.
Yeah.
We've got the Herd of Prey for 10. We've got the 8 on Nakmund.
Yeah.
And we've maxed out the assassination compared to what we should have got.
Yes.
Right? And that is a good achievement.
It is really good. Nice, solid score.
Very, very good. Now, if we head back to Alex, gonna score is 8 points at the end.
Yeah, so max out.
Make sure he's on 2 objectives.
Yeah.
Which he should be because he's on the central one, and he's on objective 1.
Top right, top 2 as well. Yeah.
Unless he moves off.
Yep.
Gonna get those points.
Yeah, agreed.
Spread the sickness, another 3, and then to the last for another 10. Now it's only a case of can he find a way to win the game? The only way he can win the game is to get an assassination point from somewhere. So the question is, okay, confirmation of spread the sickness on the center.
Good.
One more win. The question now is, where are the Drukhari characters?
The Draz is in the middle.
Is Draz still alive?
No, Draz went down actually, didn't he?
I think Draz went down.
So, what is... So there's a
No
homunculus.
Drukhari characters?
Yeah, there's a homunculus. There's a homunculus on Objective 4.
Then why is he...
No, there is. There's a homunculus on Objective 4. There is. Right in the middle. That's where they're pointing. Okay. There is a homunculus on Objective 4. So that's where he's pointing currently.
If we can find the homunculus...
Yeah.
The way... So this is a draw...
Yeah.
Unless Alex can kill the homunculus.
Yeah, which they're literally pointing at. In this bundle of racks, I believe, is the homunculus hiding, which is going to be very difficult to fish out.
Not impossible.
Not impossible, but difficult.
Probably actually impossible.
Okay, depends.
I don't know how he gets it.
But this is what you could do. Yeah, this is what you could do.
Plague burst.
Plague burst mortars. Leave them to last. Try and shoot enough racks out that they don't offer. Don't protect the character anymore. So you leave 2 racks there. And then try and fish out the...
Yeah. Now, do remember that you don't have the ability to shoot with the Plague Marines in the center.
Yes.
They've been doing an action.
They have, yeah.
So you have...
Is there a way for DG to do an action with a stratagem and...
Good question. No clue.
No.
I would assume not, because it's in all the book.
Yep, okay.
So, you have to fire...
Yep.
Blight Lords.
Yeah.
And the 2 Plague Burst Crawlers.
Yep.
And kill the homunculus from out of that unit.
Yep.
Otherwise, this game will be a draw.
Yep.
It's been a good game.
It has been a really good game. So, also, Alex has 1 CP left. So, part of me is thinking...
Splash damage.
Yeah, well, there's also going to be a lot of bolter... There's 5 Terminators.
The
bolter
CP's been
shots.
spent.
Yes.
Plus 1 to hit with White Wall Terminators.
Yeah, so 2's to hit.
Yeah.
On those bolters. Hoping with that strength 4 bolter into the rack goodness. 3's to wound as well.
Yep.
They should... Right, so that's all hit. Every single one.
Everything's hit.
Everything's
now it's just a case of dice watching.
Yes, pick the dice up. Come on. Right. Now what they're measuring? Contagion range?
Yes.
So the in or out? That's the question.
Good question.
Depends what they're picking up.
Wow.
No. So they were out of contagion range because that's 5s to wound there.
4 wounds go through. 3 failed saves.
Yeah.
1 failed save.
1?
Oh, these are homoxites. They've got 4 plus invulnerable save. So 1 takes a wound and then fails to feel no pain. Goes down.
Okay, so that's still a lot to fish out of there for that homunculus to be free.
Yeah, the autocannon is firing now as well.
Yep.
That's killed another one. And that leaves...
How many do we have?
Do we have a camera that we can get onto that objective?
Let me have a gander at our right camera.
Yeah, that's not pointing in the correct direction.
Not that one either. My last chance of a camera. Nope, none of the cameras, unfortunately, currently have a sign on
we'll get that set up for you guys so we can see exactly what is left around this homunculus. Because remember, you don't need to kill the whole squad.
Yeah.
You just need to kill it below 3 models.
Yes.
That way, the homunculus becomes targetable of the rest of your weapons. And even then, you need to kill the homunculus afterwards.
This has been another close game. Where have all the close games come from today? It's crazy. Okay, Alex, again, just doing everything he can.
Yeah.
Doing everything he can to get eyes on these, so you'll be able to see they're literally buried in the middle.
We are looking at the priority targets, but they're already going to get 8 points by just standing on 2 objectives to max that out to 45 points.
I'm adding 7 racks still there, is where I'm at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
If one of our table bosses can count the exact number of racks that are still remaining, excluding the homunculus, that'd be very helpful.
And the racks are on Objective 4, Neil. You're looking in the wrong place. So Objective 4 is we need to see how many racks there are there, please. And in between, and there's a guy who's homunculus, he's got the flesh coat.
There are 7 racks remaining.
7, I thought there was 7.
And then there's a homunculus. So,
that means he needs
Alex
to kill another
5.
Right, okay, that's what we need to happen.
Yeah.
Is that another one gone?
4.
Oh, we're literally on a countdown. That's a wound. Oh no, that was number of shots. This must be a Plague Burst Mortar right now, because that was 6 shots.
Yeah. He needs to kill it with this.
Yeah.
He needs to kill it with this.
But fine, because of the Hemoxites, Invulnerables passed.
I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that's a draw.
I think that they're playing it out, I believe, but we'll see.
Let's go back to the main top-down, see as the points come in.
That's Glenn at 86. We know that. We know that. Oh,
There's taken all maxed out. That was 8 points.
Then the last for the 10 is going to be 86, 86, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why have there not extra points for the to the last? Where are the extra 5 for the extra 5 for the to the last? No, where's the extra 5 for the to the last? Is anybody asking that question?
Who was the last remaining to the last station?
Who is the extra to the last? Yeah. No, there should be another one. We got this wrong?
And then it was a big squad of Plague Marines in the centre, no? Or was it the squad in the bottom?
If it was... No, who was it? Who was it? Did we have it?
It was a squad of Plague Marines at the bottom.
Oh, no.
So that is only 5 points on to the last.
No, okay, we thought it was the other squad. We thought it was the other squad. Oh, no.
Glenn takes it 86-85.
There we go. 86-81. There we go.
86-81. It's close enough.
Oh, it's bloody close enough.
I am very tired. Not as tired as Mikey is.
And on that note, kids.
We take it.
And on that note,
that was a good game.
It was a really good game. I thought that both of those players played really well. It seemed to be balanced in their skill, if you know what I mean. So it was
It was very back and forth.
Yeah,
it was very back and forth. I think with these kinds of games, one of the benefits you always have to coming on stream is you can come back and watch your own game back.
Oh, for sure.
Because you know your army, you can have a see in what you might have done differently.
Yep.
In the future. But yeah, solid game. Really enjoyed that. That was right down to the wire.
So that's it. That's our third game today of Warhammer 40k at the Goonhammer Open. We're back tomorrow for another 3. You'll be able to catch us from about 9:30. I'm not sure the exact time we're going live, but put time in your diary wherever you're going to watch. Come back and watch us. Tom, you are leaving us tomorrow.
I am.
You've stepped in today as our super sub. So can I just say, on behalf of all
I'm going to have a great as a reward.
You have a great time tonight, because I know you're going to go watch the Champions League final with some friends. So have a mint time. Big up. Thank you so much if you've been in chat as well. We appreciate anyone just swinging by and coming to say hi and stuff like that. Can I just say, before we go, big shout out again to Balrock, who's just donated a huge £5.
Put him back on the, the spreadsheet again.
Great watch. Thanks for talking us through it. See you tomorrow, boys.
Thank you very much for having me, and see you guys soon.
Yeah, you will.
Enjoy your next day.
Balrock, just so you know, mate, you're going on for another 2 entries for our £50 gift voucher for GW or wherever you want. But yeah, that's it. Tom, again, thank you so much, buddy. We couldn't have done it without you. We'll be back again tomorrow, guys. But we've been Hellstormwargaming. You've been Tom Layton.
I have.
Of joining Hellstormwargaming for a day.
I have.
You're like our super sub. Yeah. We've loved having you, and that's it. We're done. So I'm gonna end the stream, and guys and girls, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. See you later, and goodbye. Yes, this will stop the stream. Bye.
Definitely. No, that's good now.